Okay. Jamshedpur, hailed as the steel city of India, is a classic example of harmony between industrial prowess and natural beauty. Founded by the visionary industrialist J.N. Tata in 1907 and named after him, it is India's first planned city and laid out according to the founder's idea of a town with wide streets planted with trees. No wonder Jamshedpur is one of the greenest cities of India, with over 30% of total land area covered by trees and gardens. At the heart of Jamshedpur's identity is the Tata Steel Plant, Asia's first integrated steel mill, which is a testament to India's industrial revolution. The plant shaped the city's economic landscape and laid the foundations for its diverse social fabric. The Jubilee Park, gifted to the citizens by Tata Steel on the company's Golden Jubilee, is a sprawling green oasis in the city's heart. Modelled after the Vrindavan Gardens of Mysore, the park's meticulously landscaped gardens, fountains, and a mini zoo make it a perfect retreat for nature lovers. Another tourist attraction is the Dimna Lake, nestled at the foothills of the Dalma Range. It is a serene spot for picnics and morning walks, offering breathtaking views and a peaceful escape from the city's hustle. The Dalma Wildlife Sanctuary, extending over the Dalma Hills, is a thrilling heaven for wildlife and nature enthusiasts. Home to elephants, barking deer, and many bird species, it offers treks and safaris that allows visitors to immerse themselves in the region's natural bounty. The city has a tremendous tryst with sports as well. Jamshedpur is a sports capital of Jharkhand, with its investments into the grassroots. The Tata Football Academy, founded in 1987, is considered the nursery of Indian football and now owns the ISL outfit Jamshedpur FC. The Tata Archery Academy is another key destination where plenty of world-conquering Indian archers train and hone their skills. Golf is another sport that has a prominent base in Jamshedpur. The city is home to two golf courses, the Golmuri Golf Course and Beldih Golf Course. The Golmuri Golf Course is a full 18-hole course spanning over 6,300 yards, while the Beldih Golf Course is a 6,900-yard course, essentially a 9-hole course converted to a 18-hole course by using separate tees. The prestigious annual Tata Open tournament is played simultaneously at both the courses every year, making it one of the rare events in the world which is played across two venues. The event offers a prize purse of 2 crores and constitutes the last leg of the 2025 PGTI season. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is day 3 of the Tata Open 2025. We are here at the Beldih Golf Course. I'm your host, GS Vivek, and I've got Amandeep Joel alongside with me. I would love to introduce him as the CEO of the PGTI, but he's an acclaimed golfer, and we're going to talk about this tournament, one of the very unique tournaments, Amandeep, in the world, where it's played over 2 golf courses, and that's quite a daunting challenge for all the golfers.
It is indeed, Vivek, but it has been played for since 2002. We've had the Tata Open in Jamshedpur, played over at Beldih and Golmuri since 2002. Tata's has been associated with PGTI. It's almost like we've got such a strong foundation for PGTI with Tata Steel. being our partners right from the beginning. And, we are so proud to have them with us in the entire journey of PGTI. And we can't thank them enough. And the players have gotten used to playing, going back to the 2 golf courses. They've gotten used to playing, even though between the green speed, there is almost a foot of difference between Golmuri here and Beldih. Beldih went through a green change into a golf course change a couple of years ago. Welcome change. I think the greens have been redesigned. The golf course is the same, but still, they've built up the greens. Golf Design India, which is a partner of PGTI, Vijit Nandajog, was instrumental in getting the greens done. So very exciting, very unique. But let me tell you, my PGTI professionals are used to any kind of challenge that is thrown at them.
There's one more person on this tour, Amandeep, who's shown nerves of steel, and we're talking about Yuvraj Sandhu, right? He's been phenomenal this entire 2025 season, and once again, he's right at top of the leaderboard.
Definitely, nerves of Tata Steel. That's what Yuvraj has been. Phenomenal run this year, 6 tournament wins. He could have actually won 9. The world is watching Yuvraj Sandhu. What is he going to do from here on onwards, from PGTI, where he's had an impeccable last year. He's qualified for the DP World Tour, which is going to happen. Unfortunately, he's missing a few tournaments. But, coming on top of the PGTI order of merit, and not only just coming on top, he has come on the top of the PGTI order of merit in style. He's not left a doubt about it, winning convincingly, shooting scores like 32 under par, 30 under par, unheard of. 2 weeks of 61 under par or something like that when we were playing down south. So, the entire world is looking at Yuvraj Sandhu from the PGTI. What is he going to do next is what everybody is going to be looking at.
We're talking about this particular tournament, Amandeep. Like you said, the monkey is off his back. He's now qualified for the World Tour. So what should he be looking at? What should he be doing? There are other contenders as well riding up towards him. It's a bunched up leaderboard at the top. So what should Yuvraj Sandhu do?
I think he knows it all. I don't think we need to tell him anything. He has a bit of an issue where whenever he goes under pressure, he pulls his ball left. He's lost a few tournaments where his ball, he loses it left. I think probably, I'm sure he's working with his coach. But, he's on such a roll. There's no weakness, so to say, in his game. Off the tee, he's phenomenal. On the putting green, he's great. He gets it to the green, puts it into the hole, and, it's as simple as that. So, really no weaknesses. But if he's going to go to the next top, I think he'll have to work a little bit harder so that little weakness that he's having with the ball missing left every time he goes under pressure or tries to control the ball is what he needs to work on, in my opinion. And, but he's a world-class material, no doubt.
His opinion definitely counts, not just as the CEO, but also as a very accomplished golfer. But Amandeep, let's talk about his contenders as well for this particular tournament. Talk about Shubham Juglan and Kalin Joshi. They're right at the top, giving him that kind of a pressure. Day 3 is very critical.
I want to talk about Shubham Juglan. What a prodigy he is. He was a little child from the village of Haryana, brought to Delhi by the Golf Foundation. Amit Luthra, who runs the Golf Foundation, he brought him there, gave him education, got him all kinds of facilities of golf. He's won World Juniors in America, I think in pretty much every category. Then he went to the University of Southern Florida at Tampa and got his degree, got his degree last year, and has qualified for the PGA Tour of Americas. That man we need to watch. He is a player who is going to be flying the Indian color high. He just came back. He's got his Asian Tour card. So he's accomplishing everything that people were looking at him to accomplish. Great mind, superb all-round game. I don't think so. That's the player to watch, Shubham. And, he finished second in the first tournament that he played in Chandigarh. He's gone on to secure his Asian Tour card. And this week he's contending again. So I will not count him out.
Yeah, definitely can't count Shubham Juglan out. There's Yuvraj Sandhu, there is Kalin Joshi to watch out for. And of course, Veer Elawat also there as well. So a lot of players are there right now at this particular thing. How crucial is day 3 in any tournament?
It's usually called the moving day. I mean, I think what's happened here is that the wind is blowing. It's going around in circles. So that is what is going to throw the players off when they come to Beldih. Right now they're playing Golmuri. It's a little protected, little short, but when they come to Beldih, that's what they're going to have to contend with. So third day is always the moving day. We've seen, a lot of people making a move. Manu Gandas, he's just made an eagle on hole number 12 and moved on to 8 under par. Manu Gandas is at 6 under par. He's 5 under today. So a lot of people are going to move. But Yuvraj is holding on. I don't think he has to do anything exceptional. Few birdies on that side, few birdies on this side. I think, he makes it so simple that it's almost like he's going to walk off with it.
Exactly. Please remember that this is a unique tournament that is played across 2 golf courses. The Golmuri golf course, that's where all our main groups have started off, and they're now coming to play at the Beldih for the back 9. We're going to cut across the live visuals of the groups over there, and it's now back to the studio.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the third round of the Tata Open 2025. This is the 28th event and the last event of the 2025 PGTI season. Players here playing for a prize purse of 2 crore rupees. Through the front 9 of this penultimate day, Yuvraj Sandhu, also the leader of the Order of Merit currently, as 14 under par, and Shubham Jaglan, the player who now plays on the PGA Tour Americas, at 13 under par with an eagle just now on the 9th hole. I am joined here alongside my co-host Shaurya Singh. I am Rahul Bajaj, as well as by my co-commentator Mr. Rahul Banerjee, and we will be presenting to you all of this action right here from the Golmuri and the Beldih clubs at Jamshedpur.
Thank you for that, Rahul, for that wonderful introduction to the tournament. And we had a look at Mukesh Kumar, the ageless legend, playing alongside the precocious youngster Manoj S. Barely 18 years of age, or maybe it's 17, I'm still not certain.
Well, Manoj S is 17 years of age, also the leader of the Emerging Player of the Year, which translates as the Rookie of the Season. This is his first year playing professional golf, and of course he has been maintaining himself in fine fettle. As we take a look here now at Om Prakash Chauhan, who of course has won this tournament multiple times and has also been the leader on the Order of Merit earlier on.
Unique event played across 2 golf courses, and I'll look at Om Prakash Chauhan. He's been the former number 1 on the Professional Golf Tour of India, played an entire season on the DP World Tour. That comes up a little short on this par 3, which is the opening hole here at Beldih Golf Club. It's an interesting setup, and of course you have a familiar name on top of the leaderboard, Yuvraj Sandhu, the man who's number 1 this year, and he's on an absolute tear yet again. He's at 14 under, leading the tournament by 1 shot over the very talented Shubham Jaglan, followed closely by Kalin Joshi, experienced Amardeep Malik, Sri Lanka's N. Thangaraja, and also Gaurav Pratap Singh, who is coming up roaring up the leaderboard. This is the final event of the calendar year. We see Yuvraj Sandhu at 1 crore 61 lakh 67,100 rupees. He also has already sealed the numero uno spot, but as our CEO spoke, he's got nerves of Tata Steel. Absolutely right. He's got that wrought iron running through him. He wants to increase that lead, and I think he's doing stupendously at this point in time.
A brilliant aerial view here of the Beldih golf course. The first hole is a very interesting par 3 where we see Manoj S playing alongside Om Prakash as well as Mukesh Kumar now walking up on that fairway. And both, of course, Om Prakash and Mukesh have turned up in twinning colors. 197 yards to span this par 3, an uphill approach towards the green as it sits like a tabletop. And that's what makes the green a little bit tough to get to. The players would usually be hitting a 4-iron or a 5-iron onto this green. And as you can tell now from this aerial vision, there's hardly any room to stop that golf ball, especially with that shape on the front part of the green. There is not much space to drop the ball. And of course, the ball will come off the sides as you just saw the players walking upwards towards the green. Green almost sits about 8 or 9 feet above the ground level here.
Yes, difficult for the youngsters, but Mukesh is right on song. And this green, if you're able to hit it, you've already done one good deed on this hole. If you miss it, then the ideal position is where Om Prakash Chauhan is towards the front left of the green. Gives you enough space to try and get it up and close. It's been a full field event this time. Normally, you have the top 60 players playing here. This time, we have a full field event, and because of that, we've also had a cut being applied, which was applied at 2 over par. As we get back to OP here, Om Prakash Chauhan really does play at a brisk clip.
Not quite happy with that chip attempt. OP would still have about 5 feet remaining for his par.
Some of the notables missing the cut. Shamim Khan, the number 1 player, unfortunately missing it by a mere shot. He's the all-time highest earner on the Professional Golf Tour of India. Chika Rangappa, very talented Chika. Then Stepan Danek, Joshua Seal, the international, also missing the cut. Tapendra Ghai, winner on tour, also missing the cut. Surprising that Arjun Sharma has also missed the cut, the player from Greater Noida. Very talented youngster indeed. So, of course, not everybody can be around for the weekends, but the players here are going to make the most of moving day.
Let's take a look now at Manoj S, who is putting for birdie here on the 10th hole, which is the first hole of the Beldih side of the course.
Really nice shot to get up to about 20 feet here, downhill. The greens here are playing a touch slower than the ones at Golmuri, so the players would have to adjust. Let's see if he's able to do that. That looks really promising. Unexpectedly turning away, but nevertheless, a good effort. Let's have a look at some of the other scores and how the rest of the field is doing. You have Kushal Singh at 1 over for the day, 6 under for the event. He really struck lightning so as to caught lightning over the last 3-4 tournaments. He's performed really well. Gaur Pratap Singh 2 under par, 8 under total. As Om Prakash Chauhan tries to make his par, but I think he should be able to do that comfortably from here. Oh, the commentator's curse didn't wait too long for it to come around. That looked fairly innocuous, but a rare miscue by Om Prakash Chauhan, and that would be a drop shot for the man from Mau. Both the players starting their golf from Mau. I believe Mukesh is still based in Mau. Om Prakash Chauhan, I'm not quite certain if he's still playing out of Mau. So Mau has the penchant for producing some of the best golfers in India. Of course, Mukesh is a man that needs no introduction. So many victories under his belt, and the fact that he's beyond 60, almost 61 years young now, and still got that hunger, that fire, and that physicality that can bear the burden of travel, practice, and still has a lot of joy de vivre, the love of the game, and you can see the stance has not changed a bit. Still craning over like the good old days.
So Mukesh Kumar has won hundreds of tournaments here, and also has won the Panasonic Open on the Asian Tour a few years ago at the Delhi Golf Club. He seems to be completely miffed by that line, and as he should be. Slope did appear like it's going to break a little bit from the right, but he is totally flabbergasted by that one.
Yeah, that had him flummoxed. I think that got too OP as well. If you see, these players have missed this putt, so maybe here the slope is a little more difficult for them to read, and also a little bit of adjustment required when you come over from Golmuri. These are different type of greens altogether. Adds to the degree of difficulty.
Would add to some amount of bonding chatter that could be had on the second fairway.
That is a disappointing miss from Mukesh.
Well, talking about that, we also must mention Shubham Jaglan, currently at 5 under par for the day with 3 birdies on that front nine in Golmuri on the first, fourth, as well as the seventh, and an eagle on hole number 9, the par 5, to be at 13 under par, just one shot shy of Yuvraj Sandhu, making things interesting over here. And Kalin Joshi, who has turned at 2 under par himself with an eagle of his own on the ninth, and 2 birdies on the scorecard, but nullified by the 2 bogeys that were there. So 2 under par for him through that front half, to be turning with a total score of 8 under par, as we now take a look here at the group of Ajitesh Sandhu and Shaurya Bhattacharya.
Beldih is a lot more difficult to score as opposed to Golmuri. That gives the players a lot of opportunities to make birdies and eagles. And we can see that they made an absolute meal out of hole number 9. There's been eagles by Shubham Jaglan, Kalin Joshi, Veer Lawat. So some brilliant golf all around. Veer, the winner the previous week, really displayed fantastic ability to stay the course. Did lose the lead at one point in time, but came back in roaring fashion to win the inaugural Sidco Open Championship. Now the stylish Ajitesh Sandhu never breaks character, I must say. Whether he makes a bogey or birdie is pretty similar, playing alongside the very talented Shaurya Bhattacharya. And joining them is Mohammad Azhar. They appear to be on hole number 11, the par 4. This par 4 turns a little bit to the right. Shaurya recently off a very successful campaign on the Asian Tour qualifying, having finished second. What a stellar effort by the young man. Congratulations to him. The hole number 2, rather hole number 11 as it plays for the tournament, is a par 4 that measures about a little over 400 yards.
In fact, some of the other players who made it to the Asian Tour with full cards are Rashid Khan and Ajitesh Sandhu as well, finishing at 15th and 20th spots respectively. And so was Hani Besoya. Hani Besoya
Just shows you the depth of golf on the Professional Golf Tour of India, securing their cards overseas. As we have a look at Ajitesh Sandhu.
My apologies, not Hani Besoya, but Shubham Jaglan is the 4th player to have made it through to the Asian Tour with a full exemption to the 2026 season. So 4 Indians making it through, opposed to only 1 that came through in 2023, which was Hani. So nice to see a lot of new names and a lot of big names here from Indian golf now moving on to play more on the international tours.
It's going to be a full kitty of tournaments for the players next year. This year has been a breakthrough year in itself. We've had 28 events. I think that's probably the highest that we've ever had.
It's been a really busy year here on the PGTI calendar, and with the addition of 72, the league.
I'm pretty certain that's a problem they love to have. As you have a look at Azhar, who's also displayed sublime form this year.
Azhar turning himself at 3 under par through that front half with birdies in hole number 2, 5, as well as the 9th.
And talking of that sublime form, it has extended onto the putting green. A very assertive putt that was traveling. The flag came in the way, and a beautiful birdie. That was a hit with confidence. Look at that. That was the putt of a confident man. Shaurya Bhattacharya now.
But Acharya, unfortunately, not turning up anything very steady this morning, has turned up at 3 over par through the front half.
Also had a glimpse at us here from the commentary booth, commentary box rather, at the ABP studios. Now this putt should break a little from the right for Shaurya. Just about staying a little under the hole.
I'd also assume that it'd be tough for the players to gauge the greens, as you know, when they move from one course to the other, there is a certain amount of a difference in the way the greens behave as well as the speeds of the greens. So that would also mount as the added challenge in this week. Also, the travel between the two nines also adds up to that challenge as the bodies get a little cooled down on the way here. Although the players do get about 15 minutes in their hand when they travel between the courses to be able to go and warm up. But there is certainly a break, and I think that would affect scoring a little bit.
Yes, now after that really good putt, this putt should break a little from his left, but we've seen that nothing is a certainty here, so you still have to hit it with ample respect.
Well, Sandhu cleans up there beautifully, and he would stay at his score.
It's a little too early to call the winning score, but having seen the first 2 days, you think that the players are going to continue in similar form. We see that Shubham and Yuvraj are now starting to open a little bit of lead over the rest of the field. Shubham 5 shots ahead of Cullen, although still early days. We do have 27 holes of golf to be played. But there's a possibility that Yuvraj could break the 20 under par mark yet again.
Are we already looking at a two-man race beating the 20 under mark? I think that would be a bit of a challenge here this week, Shaurya, only because the way that Beldih sets up, only the Golmuri half really gives you that opportunity to make a lot of birdies. Let's take a look here at Mukesh Kumar, who is no stranger to making lots of birdies on hole number 11 here at the Beldih course.
And there would be some interesting math to see how many birdies Mukesh would have made. We'll try and come up with some rough number in our mind as he. It's another nice little fade. He's always favored the left to right movement. That just about on the green. That's giving him an outside opportunity for birdie. He's won over 130 tournaments. Last I checked, somewhere in the vicinity, 130 pro tournaments, and even if you have to assume he must have at least a win percentage of 10, because earlier on in the career he had a much more aggressive win percentage. So that would mean that Mukesh has played well over 1,000 tournaments.
It's great to see Mukesh, keeping in fine form even now. Playing alongside all the young guns of Indian golf of today, and still being able to keep up. Currently at a score of 3 under par for the tournament, playing very strong. Om Prakash Chauhan seems to be not very happy with his club choice earlier.
The wind does swirl here because the tree line. The golf course is these holes are lined by trees on either side. That can make it a little difficult to gauge the direction. We can see that the leaves are fluttering in the background, so wind is starting to become a factor. So scoring would become a little more difficult. And I think he's come up a little short. Maybe the previous choice was the right one.
That front bunker is a bit of a tough spot to be in, especially with this flag location today. That's going to be an interesting up and down coming up for OP Chauhan as we take a look at Manoj S finding his way through the woods.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting shot from there. Seeing that he did find a window of opportunity and was able to make the most of it. And that's how you get onto the green from peril to perfection.
That'll be a couple of strokes gained there for Manoj S. And as you can tell, even players from better positions. And then there was one in the woods and Manoj S shining through that window that he found in there. Very much a very realistic birdie opportunity set up for himself again, under 20 feet.
Now I would like to call Mr. Rahul Banerjee round to join Rahul Bajaj. So two Rahuls will be live now.
RB and RB, and please Listen to us only at your own peril. Welcome, Rahul. Good to have you here back commentating together alongside you. It's always fun.
Thank you, Rahul. Great pleasure to be back alongside you and Shaurya as always. And we're finally at the end of like you guys have been saying, a very grueling season, 2025 season, and lots more to come within couple of months as we turn around into 2026 with the announcement of the 72, the league, which the PGTI will be promoting and running. So plenty of action as we wind down, and the promise of lots more to come within a few weeks of the new year being ushered in. So yeah, it's terrific. I mean, this is good to see. And like you and Shaurya were discussing, the fact that 4 players have made full cards, joining 2 or 3 others who already have playing status on the Asian Tour. Yuvraj Sandhu getting his DP World Tour card, sealing it rather a little earlier this season. So it's good to see our boys getting, and the girls, of course. A lot of them are playing on the ladies European Tour. So this Indian golf working its way towards a healthy position. It's been in a bit of a slump, as far as in my opinion, for whatever it's worth, the last couple of years. So it's always good to see an uptick in the numbers who are playing abroad, and a very good example of just why our players are making a mark abroad. Kalin Joshi there nailing his tee shot on the 10th.
Well, we're watching our first look here at Siddiqur Rahman after a very long time. Siddiqur Rahman from Bangladesh, one of the best golfers that we have seen coming out of Bangladesh is Siddiqur.
Extremely fitter Siddiqur than we used to see in the past, Rahul. If he doesn't mind my saying so. When he past Indian Open winner as well, when it was played at the Delhi Golf Club. It's a wonderful exponent of the art and a trailblazer for many coming out of Bangladesh. And we see now with a growing number of players from that country who are on the PGTI now.
Playing alongside Abhinav Lohan as well as Kalin Joshi today. Kalin, of course, coming up just a wee bit short of the green, pitched it on the front part and had to roll back. And that is a fair amount of a miscue from Rahman, leaving himself in a very similar location to what O.P. Chauhan left himself at a while ago. Abhinav Lohan now coming up on that tee box. Rahman turning up at 7 under par. Abhinav Lohan at 6 under par in this group. And Kalin Joshi, of course, with that eagle on the 9th hole at 8 under par currently.
He looks to be the happiest of the 3 of the tee. Getting a lot of elevation on the ball, and look at that. If you're looking for perfection in a golf shot, ladies and gentlemen, you just saw it in front of your eyes. Abhinav Lohan also back on the winning trail earlier this year, which is good to see. And he's put it, I think, stuck it to about a couple of feet of the pin.
Well, if you're looking for perfection, he's about 2 feet right of the hole. He should have been 2 feet left away. He left himself, and that would have really been perfect.
That would have been perfection with a sort of with a wreath around it. That would have been. Let's take this as being as close to perfection as we can get on the day, and maybe it will get better. Who knows? There's still 2-3 groups to come, with some of them who are in really hot form behind. So who's to say that we might look for that perfection that you're looking for, Rahul? You're a hard taskmaster, I have to say.
This is steel, and this is an idea. So what happens when we join them? Something iconic. Like the Bandra Worli Sea Link, an engineering marvel that connects 2 parts of a thriving city, where Tata Steel's state-of-the-art LRPC strands have played a role, inserted in the concrete deck and anchored to support the vision of New India. Tomorrow is shaped by imagination and steel.
Tata Steel. We also make tomorrow.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है,
देता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है। मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने एक चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है। जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद।
Back with the action. Khalin having a look at what he needs to do next after the tee shot, which, as Rahul pointed out a little while ago, stayed just under the dance floor.
Well, let's see what Cullen does from here. I think it's going to be an interesting up and down situation for him. He will certainly have to wedge it, and so will Sidikur. And of course, man who needs no mention with the wedges. He's really good with his approach shots as well as his short game. So let's see the kind of shot that he cooks up. Can he get it closer than his compatriot Om Prakash Chauhan did just a few moments ago?
He's probably getting walking up to the pin again to have a second look. There's something on the way that seems to be bothering Sidikur just a little bit. He's also caught in two minds as to the club selection. He's finally decided on which piece of iron where he wants in his hand.
Rahman probably is going with a lofted club over here and will look to release that ball a little bit more towards the hole as it pops up. More of a chip and run kind of an approach has been taken over here and has done fairly well, leaving himself about a 6-footer to make his par. Very similar location to what Mukesh Kumar was in a few moments ago. And let's see if Sidikur can catch the line correctly. Kalin Joshi from under the green. Colin turning up today in the red and black, very customary Tiger Woods Sunday edition. Seems like he's coming a day early and really making the most of it.
Nice hands there. Probably Khalin wants the Tiger mood today, Rahul, to get himself as close to the lead group as possible before we head into Title Sunday.
Well, he's pretty much poised up for a good round, with that 2 under par to start the front nine. And if he can carry that on and put himself in a good spot, I'd say like repeat the clothing.
Certainly seems to be, like you said, on the right track. And Abhinav on looking to, and we have an aerial visitor. Besides the drone pilots, we also have someone looking on as Abhinav goes through his pre-putt routine. What to be a couple of feet for his bird. Well deserved, that one. Smoothly done. No fuss, no muss.
The funny thing about this game is some people have birdie putts which look like par putts, and there's like little tiny tap-ins, and just like what Abhinav did over there. And brilliant shot, I must say. A tough flag to get to today. And we've seen only 2 balls so far in the last 6 players to be able to find the dance floor from that tee box, and that was absolutely terrific.
Pin positions was always as to be expected at such a big tournament, the season-ending event of the PGTI's 2025 schedule. In fairly testing positions, I think only 1 out of the 18 between the 2 courses is in the center of the green. All the others are tucked away left, right, front, and back. The greens, by and large, on the larger side at these 2 courses. And as Rahul and Shaurya have been mentioning to you, a fairly unique format as we look at Sidikur. And I think this is exactly what happened in the previous group, Rahul.
Yes, I think there's
drifted away.
There's a subtlety of a slope over there which I do not quite think is visible to the naked eye.
and players not having the benefit of television traveling along with them do not know what the groups ahead of them have done and are pretty much making the same mistakes. Uh, Almost this identical repeat of what we saw in the previous group, all just cutting away at the last minute.
Colin for a
Both
par.
OP and Mukesh, highly experienced, vastly experienced campaigners, missing out what looked to be fairly simple putts, but as Rahul just mentioned, there are always a little subtleties that don't really catch or meet the naked eye. Colin doing his best not to get caught out.
Joshi putting for par now. Let's see if he can catch the line correctly. It's pretty much a straight putt from where he is. And he does. Colin Joshi to stay at 8 under par as he moves to the 11th hole. Of course, Beldih Golf Course now, even though the layout is the same as earlier, there are new greens on this course, making it a lot more interesting for the players. Of course, most of the greens over here always had the nature of being tabletop designs, and that adds on to the challenge. Now we have on the tee box here on the 10th hole at the Beldih Club, Amardeep Malik, Gaurav Pratap Singh, and Sri Lanka's Ntanga Raja. Gaurav Pratap Singh currently at 8 under par for the tournament alongside Amardeep Malik, and Ntanga Raja also at the same score. So all three players turning up at 8 under par, playing now 10th hole here.
Huge amount of experience in this group, Rahul. Between the three of them, there must be something like 60 plus years of playing professional golf.
Indeed, absolutely. And also we've got all the three players are tournament winners on the PGTI. So Amardeep Malik and Gaurav Pratap Singh both have turned at 2 under par each to that front nine, and so has Thanga Raja, but in a different style. He made 3 birdies and a bogey, while Gaurav Pratap and Amardeep Malik kept it pretty clean. Let's take a look now at Thanga Raja. Pin today only 9 in from the front and 5 from the right on this hole. He's also left himself left and short of the green.
Amardeep Malik up next. Just seen what his playing partner did, so he would want to definitely avoid that direction. Let's see what he comes up with.
Smooth swing there by Amardeep. Floating golf ball that we can see, unfortunately, has come up just short and left, but should be hole high. It's on the top part of that tabletop. Gaurav Pratap Singh.
A rather fetching pink there, Rahul.
So we could see him from afar.
Boys from Noida looking bright, cheery.
As long as that scorecard continues to look like a deep red.
Absolutely. Amardeep has something of a Hideki Matsuyama's pause at the top of his swing. It's quite interesting.
Yes, Amardeep has been working with this pause for nearly about 2 years now. I think it's something that he's working on in his golf swing. I'm not quite sure what is it that he's working on, but yes, he has kept the pause for now quite a few years, and has done well for him actually.
Yeah. A much quicker transition there from Gaurav Pratap, and he's gone right. A little wry smile there, and he's sort of indicating to his caddy that what happened, what did I do to send the ball in that direction. It doesn't look too fussed about it. He's playing some very solid golf along with Malik and Thanga. Some more aerial views of this. This is a beautiful spread, Rahul, in this place, and you guys must have had a great time when you were playing.
Always. The Beldih is a great golf course to play at, and one of the things I miss the most about going there is the akuri that they serve there. So that was my favorite part of going to Beldih. Of course, making the birdies was always fun as well. But
I was just going
akuri to start with.
I was just going to ask you, the birdies or the akuri, what came first? But you already given the answer, so great, good for you. Birdies can be had everywhere. Akuri probably in fairly limited courses.
There we have Shubham Jaglan on the putting surface here. And this is the amount of time that players get when they come in at the turn. So they get a few extra minutes to warm up before they get kick-started, because between the Beldih and the Golmuri courses, there is about a 20-minute travel time that the players have to engage in. So they get an extra 10 or 15 minutes before they tee off on the second half. A brilliant view here of the first hole at the Beldih Club, which is the 10th hole for the tournament. A town which is called Tata Nagar or Jamshedpur, either way. And of course, Jamshedpur also named after Jamshedji Tata. Entire town is almost built around the Tata Steel factory.
It's also called the steel capital of India for a number of years. And Tata is, of course, great philanthropists and supporters of many, many good causes around the country, be it educational, social, and in the case of golf, sport. So more power to them. Amardeep Malik from the left of the green, the 10th.
Oh, it seemed like his golf ball was up on top, but it seems like it's at the bottom. And if I'm not wrong, he's getting into a bunker.
Maybe just caught the top edge and rolled back in.
There we have Yuvraj Sandhu, the numero uno, the number one on the order of merit on the PGTI. Also leading this tournament by one currently over Shubham Jaglan. Also getting his putter heated up before he starts up his second nine. And while there is, of course, one part of the race pretty much has been decided by Yuvraj, there is another race which is going on, which is for the PGTI emerging player. Winner will be decided at the end of this tournament, currently led by 17-year-old Manoj S, whom we saw just a few moments ago from Bengaluru, with season's earnings so far of 33,96,545 rupees, while Hyderabad's Vishesh Sharma occupies second place at 17,50,574 rupees. While Manoj S seems to be pretty poised right now on this leaderboard to continue with that form, unless, of course, there is a fight put up by Vishesh Sharma.
Some amount of repair work going on there. Tanga not too happy with what the caddies have been doing, so he's taken matters into his own hand, playing the rake. And a very popular and well-known face in the Noida golf course was the man on screen to your left, Amardeep Malik's caddy. And Tanga now getting set for his shot out of the bunker.
That one rolling by the green, Tanga would have his work cut out now. He's got nearly 17 or 18 feet remaining for a par. Back in the day, Mr. Banerjee, whenever I used to play this golf course, I used to find the sand in these bunkers really tough to play out of. It's a very lightweight sand, so if you can't control the low point on your wedge, the club would completely dig in to the sand. So unlike some of the modern courses where we play now, where the sand is pretty heavy, the sand here on this course is of very light texture. So that's another thing. Course to course, you would tend to be playing off different textures of sand, and that also adds to the challenge. Let's see what Gaurav Pratap Singh does over here. Gaurav Pratap, of course, is a superb player with that lob wedge, and can really flick his wrists supremely well. Creates a lot of spin under the ball. Let's see what he does from this.
He has the opposite challenge, Rahul, from what his playing partners had, coming out of a deeper bunker. And like you said, we'll need all of that skill.
Well, I think one of the advantages that he might have is that he's playing a little more uphill.
Oh, Lord.
An uphill that was left it in the jaws of that uphill.
A good chance it is probably trickled back. Yes, looks of it is just underhit it a little bit. I think just trying to keep control on the ball as much as possible, not let it run away, and not so happy result. This is exactly what he's trying to do with the first attempt. Unfortunately, fell a couple of inches short, but he's, I think, given us a demonstration of what he set out to do in the previous attempt. Ball well placed, but unfortunately, it will be for a bogey now for Gaurav Pratap.
Well, like the experience would say, "Der hai durust hai," and that's exactly what Gaurav has done over here. Has put himself in a position to save a bogey after that little blemish. We have Kushal Singh also warming up the putter.
Man who plays his golf at the Golden Greens. So, a bit of a surprise package at this event, but good to see. It's always wonderful to see those in the mid pack or in the middle of the order of merit pushing those at the top. And Kushal, I think, has done a terrific job at this season ending event, the 2 crore Tata Open. I think coming back after something like 7 or 8 years. Played as a tour championship with a limited field, as Shaurya mentioned a little while ago, for a few years in between. It's now reverted to being a full field, giving those lower down the order of merit a last chance to go into the holidays, go into the break with a little bit of money in the pocket. Oh, lovely. That was a superb putt. Very calm, very composed, and just shows why Thanga is second in the order of merit. There's a little replay of that putt. Very measured stroke. Center of the cup. And this is why he is number 2 behind Yuvraj Sandhu in the rankings and the money list. Amardeep Malik, a shorter par putt to go.
As Amardeep Malik gets ready for that putt, I'm going to call upon Shaurya Singh as I get ready for a coffee.
All change, as they say. And no mistake there by Amardeep. Keep his card blemish free. Unfortunately, Gaurav Pratap on his screens now will drop his first shot of the day. He's kept a clean front nine at Golmuri, and his transition to Beldih not as happy as he would have liked, but that was touch and go. He almost came out perfectly, but left it a couple of inches low. But amended that with the second attempt out of the bunker. Now he's left himself with about 3 feet for his bogey, the first one of the day. He will leave the green 7 under par for the tournament, and with his first dropped shot on moving day.
Yeah, good to be back here at this venerable golf club. Beautiful venue indeed. And one of the only few tournaments that is to be played across 2 courses. And what's unique is when players play 9, they can come back here and warm up again.
So, what was the transition like, Shaurya, when you were playing? When you're obviously in a car, or a van or a bus or something in between. So, when you get to the second half, do you get time at the range, or do you just go straight to the putting green and warm up there?
Normally, just hit a few putts and maybe hit about 5 odd swings, 5 to 7 shots, just to limber up once again.
Right.
Because it does take a little bit out of you. There's a 20-minute drive, so it gives you a little bit too much time to think. As we are back here at hole number 10. are here with our final group.
Oh, that flared out to the right, Shaurya.
Final group consists of Yuvraj Sandhu, Shubham Jaglan, and Kushal Singh. So, as I mentioned earlier, Kushal, based out of Gurugram, really coming into his stride. But not having the best of days thus far. He's 1 over par. And given the fact that he's one of the only few players to be over par on Golmuri. Golmuri plays a lot more easier. So he'll have to make up lost ground here on this back nine. Now on our screen that appears to be Yuvraj.
Looks like our rankings leader, you're right, Shaurya.
Yeah, that is indeed Yuvraj. The unmistakable swing of Yuvraj Sandhu. And what a brilliant golf shot. Look at that. Had it on a string. That's the best that we've seen all morning. This whole play is almost 200 yards. So the players may be going in with a 5-iron. The longer hitters, maybe a 6-4, the longest hitters, but otherwise a 5-iron. This is a long hole. So that's a brilliant shot by UV Sandhu. The man who's on a mission, but being pushed to the brink by Shubham Jaglan and Mohammad Azhar as well now, coming to the party at 9 under par.
The young man, unfortunately, Shaurya, flaring his tee shot into the trees or near the tree line. But it's Kushal Singh on screen now.
Kushal being given the moniker Rocky. Let's see if he's able to deliver a 1-2 punch on this hole. Oh, what an absolute beauty by Kushal Singh as well. A brilliant shot by Kushal. Two really good shots here.
Absolutely on number 9. Dead on target. So that's 2 balls on the dance floor.
To get to the business end of things, the back nine here on moving day.
Lovely weather as well, Shaurya. The sun is out. Also coming back to like the point what I was asking, the fact that you all are playing end of the year, it's Jamshedpur does tend to get cold because it's on a plateau. So that also must be, sort of working in, needing to get your rhythm back, your body limbered up again before you resume at the next event, next course.
Yeah, it does pose a few challenges. I'd say that most of the players who are getting along really well. So if you want to just tee off on the next hole, so that's like an inadvertent break for almost half an hour. 20 minutes of travel time, then stretching and this and that. So I think but as professional golfers, they're mentally ready for it.
Yeah.
The only downside I can think, if somebody's really on a tear, then you don't get the opportunity to just sort of continue that. You sit in a car and then gives you some time to think. And often, your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. So as we have a look at Siddiqur here, this putt should break a little to his left. We've seen that the short little putts have troubled most of the field. But not him. He does well. Makes that putt. This is a 428-yard hole. Players normally getting a driver and then maybe a pitching wedge to this front flag. The longer hitters, they can cut the corner, maybe even a sand wedge. As we look at Abhinav Lohan. Of course, a lot depends on the direction of the wind as well. Lohan, also a silver medalist in the Asian Games, and a very well sort of rounded golfer. Got really good ball control, trajectory control, and has raked up a really good professional career as well.
He's had a terrific 2025, Shaurya. So he's really one of the players in form through the season.
Yeah, let's also have a look at the rankings as Lohan would clean up for his par. You have Arjun Prasad who slipped to number 4. Number 1 is Yuvraj. 2 is Thanga Raja. 3 is Shaurya Bhattacharya. The first time that we've already seen 3 players cross the 1 CR mark. And I'm pretty certain could be Arjun Prasad. I'm not quite certain how he's playing this week.
Shubham slightly a bit of trouble there. Luckily, he's in the first line of trees, so lovely soft hands
Oh,
there.
look at that. That
Beautiful,
is just magical hands that is being
beautiful,
displayed by
beautiful.
Shubham. That
Just went through with that swing. Absolute.
Yeah, that's top tier. That's a really difficult shot given the lie of the land, and the ground is a little harder here as well. So not that amenable to a flop shot, but you saw how he was able to utilize the bounce. Such an effortless execution by him. I hope we can get a replay of that. Uh,
Yes.
that's how you hit a flop shot. Easier said than done. And the grass around the greens here is crab grass with thicker blades of grass, so makes it a lot more difficult to get your club under it and utilize the bounce.
He just went through with it. His effort. I mean, just sometimes you would tend to think that you might, you jerk the shot or have second thoughts midway through your swing, but he just stuck with what he wanted to do and pulled it off
Yeah,
beautifully.
that seemed like a knife through butter.
Yeah.
That was really fantastic. Now, Kushal Singh will have this for his birdie. This should have a considerable amount of break, especially in the first half from left to right. Let's see. Yes, the caddy points to the exact spot that was in our mind, but of course, speed would also be a very important factor. And the discussion they're having is probably about the apex point. The caddy is telling the player that where he would want the ball to start. A very important cog in the entire machine is the caddy.
Kushal.
Utilizing that claw grip, it's Kushal. Looks like he's under at that a bit. Yeah, that will miss on the lower side.
We need to send a few earpieces to the players, Shaurya, between when you and Rahul are on the mic. And there's so much of wisdom and info going out from you guys that I think I should suggest to, occasionally have a few sets of rotating earpieces, particularly when guys are on the greens. That was really good input there from Shaurya Singh. As you saw, the ball and Kushal looked to have kept it actually inside the line, which the caddy showed him, and consequently the ball broke even further away to the right. But great inputs there, great reads from experienced golfers sitting alongside me. Education for someone like me as well.
The thing about these putts which have a certain deliberate break in them is that there is no exact line to it. The caddy might give you a spot, but that spot is just sort of guiding light for you, because the speed is what determines the break. Now
So true.
you're on a similar sort of left right break, and this will be slippery for you, Raj. Can't be too aggressive, but want to leave it out hanging on the left and then let gravity sort of take its course. Again, a similar sort of tail. It's very difficult to hold these because you can't be too aggressive, and the ball actually goes in when it's just sort of veering away towards the latter end. So you'll see aggressive golfers hold these a lot more. Yuvraj is also very aggressive putter, so his ball stayed on course, barely missing.
Just it was teasing. It teased the edge of the hole as it went. Now attention on the young man who's recovered super back with Kushal.
Now here with Shubham Jaglan,
Jaglan,
after that
yes.
stellar shot. I'm in awe of that shot. I know that in all fairness, when you look at it, it's still about 8 feet away, but that really doesn't tell the entire story. It was quite something, and just going by experience, not many players have that shot in their arsenal. And it's something that he's not quite certain of. Shubham, based out of America now, doing his college there, and plays the PGA Tour of Americas. That's worth the wait.
That was a very, very merited up and down, Shaurya. That I wish at some point, the replay can come up with a repeat of that. His
That's
approach.
really how you make par, but that tells you a lot about the game of golf as well. It's not just about a tee shot. You're looking at two really good tee shots here, but if you can have a really well-rounded short game, you can make up for your mistakes. Now, Kushal, with this Should be a fairly straightforward putt for him, just inside right, and can be firm on this as well. Using that center shafted putter. And I found something a little strange. He used the conventional grip while taking the practice swing, but on his actual putt, he changes his grip.
Yes, even the previous one was the claw.
So he's putting with the claw, but the practice swing was the conventional grip. So
You're the golfer. You tell me.
yeah, different strokes by different folks. I think that's the only thing that I can put it down to.
This is steel, and this is an idea. What happens when we join them? Something magnificent. Like the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, 3 times the height of the Eiffel Tower. An iconic landmark where Tata Steel's Comfloor 80 composite floor decking has played a part, making it a triumph of human inspiration. Tomorrow shaped by imagination and steel.
Tata Steel, we also make tomorrow.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for?
अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कर आता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
Back to the action now. N. Thangaraja on hole number 11. The God of Gold. God of Gold is surging. So is Gold. Both of them are on a path of ascendancy. Thangaraja, of course, number 2 on the order of merit. 1 crore, 10 lakh, 22,000 and 21 rupees. Played 25 events this year and has made cut 23 times. Only having missed 2 cuts. 3 victories as well. 11 top 10s. So stellar year by N. Thangaraja. Let's see if he can hold this one. And add some more bullion to his kitty. That was really close, agonizingly close.
Looked a spit out of the corner of the cup. And also credit to him for some mental fortitude, because his home was very badly affected in the floods that hit Sri Lanka a few weeks ago. And he went home. Yes, that's surging gold. Surging gold price, surging bullion prices. In fact, even silver is on a flyer from what we've been seeing.
Gaurav Pratap Singh would definitely need to make this putt if he wants to add to the kitty of gold that he's collected over the years. Has been very consistent on tour, top 25 career earner, a 2-time winner, and both the victories coming on his home course, Noida Golf Club. Unfortunately, missing that on the lower side. Noida Golf Club is a club where you play a lot of your golf.
All of it.
All of it.
It's too lazy to travel now as the older I get, so very happy to be there and to occasionally meet these two very fine gentlemen, Amardeep Malik and Gaurav Pratap, together on your screens even as we speak. Great guys, both of them. Absolute gentlemen. And very, very fine golfers as well.
Amardeep Malik, 20th on the order of merit. I would say that, Amardeep Malik and Gaurav Pratap Singh having very similar career trajectories.
Good point there. Very true.
Gaurav Pratap Singh 25th. If I'm not wrong, both Amardeep and Gaurav Pratap Singh have won at the Noida Golf Course.
That's right.
And similar amount of victories as well. And turned pro around the same time. And dare I say, both might be very close in career earnings. I'll do that checkup as well for you.
Good point. Because, and like you said, pretty much the same age, playing for almost the same length of time over the years. And absolute ambassadors of the game, both of them. Soft-spoken, wonderful people, great guys.
Gaurav Pratap, 27th on the career earning money list with 2 crore, 47 lakh, 37,000. A lot of money. Shows you that if you can golf your ball, you can get a good career. Amardeep Malik, 21st, 2 crore 90 lakh. So Amardeep Malik ahead of his friend. Gaurav Singh having played 325 events. Amardeep Malik 294 events.
Wow. The solid numbers there, as you just heard.
Mukesh Kumar having played 301 events. Shamim Khan, number one on that 323 events. Of course, Rashid Khan is second. As we have a look at the aerial view of the Beldih Golf Club. But there are a lot of others now who are climbing up. But of course, that's also kind courtesy because these numbers are not inflation adjusted, mind you. These are gross numbers. As we have a look at the top 10 scores. What's your take on the fact? Let's have a look at still a one-shot lead. What's your take on the fact that numbers could be inflation adjusted? Then you get a more realistic because prize money has grown, and so the players of yesteryear, of course, they can't quite keep up.
If you look at the gross numbers, certainly there's a ballooning as you come closer to the year of counting, closer to the year where we are in. The rupee, say 20 years ago, was very different from what it is today. So anyway, back to that's a discussion for another day and another forum. And this is your leaders group as we see as it stands. Yuvraj Sandhu hanging on just ahead of Shubham Jaglan, who we saw make a remarkable par save on the previous hole. That was some wonderful short club work, wedge work from there to set up the par putt.
What I'm most impressed by is the chasing pack. Veer Alawat also roaring through. Eagle on 9 and a birdie on 10 and 11 as we have a look at UV here on hole number 11 with what appears to be an absolutely blistering drive. That's the closest we've seen anyone to the green. This hole measures 428 yards.
Like you mentioned, Shaurya, both Veer and Azhar picking up eagles on this hole. So it's a good chance for Yuvraj to try and put some space between himself and Shubham Jaglan, who's been very tenacious, one has to say, and he's not sort of taken a step back. He's matched sort of.
So this shot maybe somewhere in the vicinity, I'd think about 95 yards, I'd say, give or take. A little difficult, but yes, he's definitely going in there with the sand wedge. It's birdie territory. The surface is such here that the ball doesn't quite spin back, so you won't see that pronounced backspin. Maybe somebody like Yuvraj can still produce that, but not for the entirety of the field. So he does it. That's a brilliant shot by Yuvraj. Controlled spin on that by UV.
You often hear golf commentators talking about having the ball dance, and there you saw one good example of that. Yuvraj Sandhu.
And now Shubham Jaglana, he's really athletic. I'm certain that he also has the ability of producing that rate of compression that enables the ball to pitch and then spin back. Often you hear amateurs ask, how do I spin the ball back?
Oh my goodness, it's a picture, it's a repeat.
It's a repeat.
It's almost like they played the same shot from slightly different angles. There's almost identical results. Ball dropping and not moving an inch forward but cutting sideways. Beautiful stuff there.
I must say that Kushal has definitely picked up a few yards. He's the longest of the three, so that's impressive. That's why he's playing well. I think he's adding a lot more power, spending time in the gym, able to outdo the other two. Let's see how he does from this wedge. Again, inside 100 yards. All the three players are definitely in birdie territory and in the fairway as well. Took a sizable divot, but that on the correct line. Now he's definitely left a little bit to be desired on that shot, so he'll have to make up and down in order to secure his par. Wind also causing a little bit of consternation to the players. You can see that it's really picked up now. As we have a look at Lohan here on the par 5. This is another birdie hole for these players. Hole number 12. It plays to approximately 502 yards. So for the longer hitters, they could well be hitting a driver and a 7-iron here. Or maybe even shorter if they can cut the corner. This has a considerable break in this one. Would like to keep it outside the right and then let that break.
Not the easiest by any means, but
yeah, good putt by Mr. Lohan.
All of that experience on show for you all there, viewers. Calmly executed. Got it exactly right.
Now this appears to be a mere formality for Siddiqu. Fairly straightforward putt. A total of 53 players making the cut this week. I somehow had missed that Mithun Pereira is playing as well this week. Now, I remember that he said he's hung up his cleats, but the golfing bug, I tell you that it's a difficult one to stave off. It bites back. But that's good to see him back in the fray. I myself am quite happy to see that. I thought that my eyes were playing a trick on me, but they're not.
No, he certainly did announce his retirement end of 24. So it's good to see. Most genial character in Indian golf. Happy man. Always a smile and speaks better Hindi than about half the field. It's quite astonishing how good his Hindi is. It's really amazing. It's very impressive.
This chip for Kushal, it actually is a birdie opportunity, if I may. He's not able to capitalize on that drive as his other two players have with really stellar shots in here. Been most impressed by the golf displayed by Shubham. He's the product of the Golf Foundation. And really,
also, when you spend time playing collegiate golf, which is, I'm sure, in a very high pressure sort of scenario by itself, it kind of rounds off your game as well when you're playing, and you have to keep your academic side going as well. So it does produce a fair amount of mental toughness, I'm sure, because the young man is showing absolutely no signs of backing down. He's playing against the best at the moment, literally head to head, and Yuvraj is setting new standards for the PGTI the way he's gone through this year.
now I like how Yuvraj has been able to bounce back from adversity. Not many talk about that as a facet of his game. He missed the cut in the previous event that he played. You can put it down to fatigue or overexertion or whatever you may, but he did end up missing the cut. But he's come back in such fashion to lead the tournament again. Oh, there goes the begging. We've seen him miss these left-right putts on the lower side. That's the second putt that he's missed on the lower side. Well, that would have given Shubham a lot to learn from. I look for Shubham to make this putt and tie the lead because now he's already seen the break. You play along the best, you pick up a lot of things, and I think that's what's happened to somebody like Shubham. Of course, you have to be good yourself, have to have all the ingredients, but definitely does make a lot of difference. You've seen Jeev Milka Singh, Shiv Kapoor. They were really good golfers, played in the American collegiate system, and that really did help them.
Yeah, also, let's watch Shubham go with his birdie putt. Just coming back to him in a minute.
As he also missed it on the lower side. So now we've seen quite a few putts on these greens, especially left to right, that all of the players, even Kushal on the first,
yes.
We've seen 4 putts on the trot being missed on the lower side. Now Kushal here doesn't want to drop this shot. That could see him move to 5 under par, and I think that'd be too much of a chasm for him as well. He wants to be at least within striking distance, be within 5 or 6 shots of the lead in the last day, so you still have an opportunity, and hope against hope, hoping, if you may, shoot a good big number and try and win that tournament.
Just like I was saying a little while ago, this Shubham also displayed, his mental toughness a few weeks ago at Hua Hin in Thailand. Shaurya, when he was literally the last to make the card. The playoff of 12 players fighting for 8 cards, and he was the eighth and final one. And Kushal going through his little routine.
Subtle right to left break here for Kushal Singh. Now with that pincer-like grip. Seems to be working really well. That was a very confident putt by Kushal, right in the heart of the hole.
Yes, your rankings leader already set a record in terms of earnings and is looking to set a record in terms of all-time wins for a season. Already 6 titles in the bag, which ties him at the top and hunting for number 7. And who's to say?
Yuvraj now. Nice and easy. It also will be interesting that these players, a lot of them would be fighting for a position to remain in the top 60. They want to have a full card so they can apply their trade again.
Which is what I said a little while earlier. Earlier, like for this 5-6 years in the middle, it was a restricted event. Now it's given everybody who's in the top 120 odd one final chance, to come back into the top 60. So it's good, and also head into the break with a little bit of money in the pocket for those who made the cut. So it's always good to have more. And at this point, welcome back Rahul Bajaj. 1 RB for another. Here you go.
Yes, it used to be the season ender. This time it's an open field event, which is a good change. Maybe gives a lot more players an opportunity. As we have a look at Gaurav Pratap Singh here on the par 5. Welcoming back Rahul. Rahul, what are your thoughts? He's a really good connoisseur of the short game. Now he has this chip and putt for birdie. Very straightforward, this chip here at the par 5.
Well, this is all the way uphill towards that whole location, and look for this one to get close.
Really does accelerate. That's what you want to teach.
I try.
Giving that a beautiful run, and that nestles in nice and cozy.
A lot of break from the left to the right on this green. 14 in today is the pin location, and 8 from the left. And not much has changed on this leaderboard since the time I was away. Yuvraj Sandhu still leading the way at 14 under par. Shubham Jaglan at 13 under. Mohammad Azhar, of course, trying to create some damage of his own. 9 under par at tied third alongside Kalin Joshi, who just made a birdie on this very hole where we are looking at Gaurav Pratap Singh. So, what do you think, Shaurya? Are we looking at some interesting shenanigans happening atop that leaderboard going into the remaining few holes of the day today, which is 7 holes or so, and of course the 18 holes that remain to be played tomorrow. And as we all know, this is the last event of the season, so a lot of hungry players out there. Prize purse of 2 crore rupees, so a lot of guys are going to be trying to gun for the victory here.
Yes, you mentioned it. A prize fund of 2 crore. That's the highest that we've seen this year. So sizable amount of money, prestige, world ranking points. A lot to be played for, indeed.
Amardeep Malik for a birdie here on the par 5. Has come away short of the hole. Fortunately, not quite the attempt that he was looking for. Would still have to contend with a 3-footer for a par. Lots of break happening from the right to the left as the green slopes lots from the back to the front on this hole. Can be perhaps a little bit tougher to judge, especially looking at that downhill coming in from the right to the left, that the ball will catch some sort of pace. And also, I think the players could be left a little bit miffed with 9.5 stimp on the Golmuri greens, while when they turn around over here, it's 8 on the stimp. So that could, leave the players a little bit confused as to how much to go with it.
This is a unique event, one of the only few events that is played across two venues. And this week we've had a total of 126 professionals. Out of that, we had 53 make the cut. As we have a look at Thanga Raja, number 2 on the order of merit. And the local challenge is being led by Kurush Herji, who's made the cut and just misses it on the lower side. So Kurush is holding the fort. And a word by Mr. B.D. Sundara Raman, Vice President Corporate Service, Tata Steel cum Jamshedpur Golf Captain, said that Tata Steel has always believed in the transformative power of sport to inspire excellence and strengthen communities. And the return of PGTI reflects that and their commitment for sport and the game of golf. They've done so much here, even in this city, for football and other games. It's really heartening to see their support and love for golf continue.
Amardeep Malik left with that little tester here on the par 5.
Severe slope on that.
Lots of break from the right to the left. I think this ball's going to break a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 inches from the right of the hole.
Oh, that was a very difficult putt for Amar. And I think he'd actually end up dropping a shot here.
That's going to hurt. Dropping a shot on a par 5 is like dropping 2 shots on the course for these players. So that certainly is going to hurt. Dropping down now to 7 under par for the tournament. It's very crowded up here, Shaurya. We've got Yuvraj and Shubham at 14 and 13 under par respectively. And then we have Mohammad Adar and Kalin at 9 under par. And then we've got Veer Abhinav as well as Amardeep, who's dropped 1 now, but N. Thangaraja at 8 under par. And there's Sidikur and Gaurav at 7 under par. So it's very crowded up here on this leaderboard for the top 10 this week.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of good players here who are enjoying the day in the sun. And Thangaraja, of course, being one of them. And what I like that he's beyond 40. He's one of the players who gives Tapindra Ghai. Very stoic demeanor by Tapindra, as always. Back. This year. Of course, and it seems like Groundhog Day altogether. Seeing Yuvraj Sandhu to repeat again and again. What a stellar year this has been.
Almost seems like Almost seems like we're putting Yuvraj there via AI.
He's almost that good that it could be AI the way that he plays golf. He's like a machine that's been sent back in time, not like the Terminator, but the Terminator of golf. It'll be exciting to see him.
Thangaraja now again won the Bengaluru Open as well. 3 victories this year for N. Thangaraja. Manu Gandas. And there we have him again. This time with some Assamese clothing on him. Veer Alawat with that victory in Jaipur. Vishwa Samudra Open win by
Deja vu.
Sandhu. And,
Veer Alawat again. It's been a stellar year. We've seen players really rake up multiple victories this year. That hasn't quite happened before. You've seen Shaurya, Angad, Thanga, and of course Yuvraj, Veer.
Jaglan coming up from the left rough here on the par 5, number 12. As he hit a fine shot.
That looked pretty good in the air. I'm not quite certain where that's ended up.
I think he did hit a bit of a draw from the rough over there. Brilliant shot, it looked like. And we'll just shortly find out where that golf ball has landed up. And there we've got Yuvraj Sandhu.
In a perfect position, I'd say, although he seems to be in the first cut. So the rough not really considerable this week. Fairly genial. should be able to get it on the green from here. But the only thing that he'll have to control from here would be the flight.
Well, that's probably the only thing that we have to control anyway, my friend.
Well, you have to cook something up. So let's just talk about the flight then. Thank you for calling me out. Of course, you have to control the distance as well. Rahul is. We have
Feeling a little cornered, are you now?
As you have a little bit of a chuckle here. The player has a lot to deal with, Rahul. The flight, the wind, the distance. But none of these will deter Yuvraj. It's a good little shot, just about 3 yards short of the green. So perfect place to leave it for an up and down.
While we were chuckling around, coming off the rough in this type of a grass that you have in the rough over here at Beldih Club, it's very difficult to judge how much the ball will run, release, or will it spin.
This is Tata Steel, and this is an idea. So what happens when you join them? Something remarkable, like the material of the future. Fiber reinforced polymers that goes beyond steel, that is high on strength and corrosion resistance, and is cost effective. A material that will be used in foot over bridges, the insides of railway compartments, and electric vehicles, as also in infrastructure for smart cities. Tomorrow is shaped by imagination and steel.
Tata Steel. We also make tomorrow.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है.
मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने एक चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है. जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है. आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
Back to the action over here as we see Yuvraj Sandhu having a little tete-a-tete with his caddy as he walks down for his third shot here on the par 5.
The unmistakable swagger was played by Yuvraj Sandhu. He's really been in the lead in almost all the tournaments that he's played. He's also had a few runner-up finishes. And what I like most is that he has a penchant of going low day after day. Normally that you see that if a player shoots a big under-par round, it's very difficult to replicate it again on the next day, but no such difficulties for him. Now Kushal Singh seems to be coming out of the bunker there. I would say that's he has ample green, and depending on the kind of lie that he's drawn, I would say that's we would expect this to be within 6 feet.
Well, Kushal playing, I think, his second or his third leader group this year. Of course, putting himself in a fine position, just like he did over here from that bunker.
I was thinking 6 feet, but how about 1 foot? A kick in for birdie. What a brilliant shot by Kushal, making it look rather simple.
And this is like I was saying earlier, the second or the third time that he's put himself in that position to be playing in the leader group, and it's really fine playing by Kushal over the second half of this season. Currently, he's at 54th position on that order of merit. This, if he can finish within the top 10 this week, certainly will jump up about 5 to 6 positions on that order of merit, creating more opportunities for him in the coming year.
Yeah, I think especially the Indian Open, the DP World Open, it goes up to somewhere in the mid-20s on the order of merit, maybe touching 30th. So if he can really have a roaring day and a half, you never know. See that rehearsal, it's so good. How he's just trying to deaden the hands at impact. Beautiful technique being employed by Yuvraj Sandhu. Not opting to go with the glove.
I think there's a lot of players, Shaurya, that you would find actually, when they come closer to the green, they actually stop using the glove. And if you would remember going back in the day, Tiger Woods used to do that a lot. Yuvraj has left himself about 6 feet or so short of the hole, but it's an uphill look at birdie, very makeable opportunity here for him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find where young Shubham has ended up. He's got some magical hands on him, as we saw on hole number 1. What a stellar shot that was. The camera didn't quite do justice to the quality of that shot, to be honest with you. It's a very steep embankment. Now, this should be his eagle putt, if I'm not wrong. That would have been quite some second shot.
I think so, Shaurya. I think you're right. This is his eagle putt coming off from over the green because the ball did drop on the green on that shot. And there we have it. With all the speculation that we did, confirmed by the cameraman.
That's looking good. That's looking good. What an effort by Shubham. Narrowly missing out on that eagle effort. So currently now he's tied for the lead at 14 under par. Of course, Yuvraj will have a putt to keep that one shot advantage.
Well, we have seen this over the course of a couple of tournaments now, and maybe a few seasons, in fact, Shaurya, that Yuvraj Sandhu probably is one of the finest frontrunners that we have seen in competitive golf. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. I'm just excited to see that how his career shapes up when he plays a lot more golf on the DP World Tour, because of course that will be a step up. The Professional Golf Tour of India is very competitive. We have international entrants now. You've seen flavor from almost over 50-60 countries this season. So he has experience of staving off competition, and I think a lot of that obviously goes down to mental preparation. You'd know better than me, and of course his ability is also there. So there's just the physical ability of the game that he has: ball striking, putting. There's really no chink in his armor.
Of course, I mean, like I've spoken about this quite multiple times earlier. One of the things I'm a big fan of is for the putting that he does. It's the firmness that he tends to hit his putts with, the assertiveness that he brings to the green. Let's see if he can follow suit here and move himself a shot ahead. And he does. No trouble there for Yuvraj Sandhu. Moves himself to 15 under par, while Shubham Jaglan, trying to catch hold of him, has also moved to 14 under par. One shot still remains between the two.
I think that can also be attributed to the work that he does on the mental side of the game. I believe he works really hard on that front. And often at times that work is not quite discernible to the naked eye. That's all the work that goes on behind the scenes. And that's something that helps him remain even-keeled as we have a look at hole number 14 there.
Well, certainly a very important aspect of playing professional sport is to have a balanced mindset. And I think that goes within the ropes and even outside of the ropes. So even outside of the golf course, how would the player be? And that certainly is very important. And, coming from India, the land where yoga, meditation, everything is, this is where it has all come up. I think our players should be practicing that left, right, and center each day.
Yes, surely. I think that will help them calm the nerves and be able to perform under pressure. That's something that he does really well, time after time. He's almost made it a certainty that he'll be there in the top 3 scores, during a tournament. So it's a very high level that he's set for himself, and at this point in time, he's able to breach it each and every time. Let's see if he can make it number 7, or will it be Shubham Jaglan? And for those of you just joining us, we'd like to welcome you to the Tata Open 2025 being played across Golmuri and Beldih golf courses. This tournament offers a prize fund of rupees 2 crore with 30 lakh going to the winner. This is the final event of the calendar year, which has been a resounding success. Number 1 on the order of merit this year is Yuvraj Sandhu. And a little surprise that he's number 1 at this tournament once again, leading the tournament. And the order of merit comprises of number 2 Thangaraja, number 3 Shaurya Bhattacharya, Arjun Prasad in 4, and Manu Gandas at 5. Some stellar players playing for a lot of pride and, of course, world ranking points and prize money. On your screen is Gaurav Pratap Singh, based out of Noida, multiple winner on tour. Has been a professional for almost close to 19 or 18 years since the inception of Professional Golf Tour of India.
Stellar attempt here by Gaurav Pratap. Drain a birdie. Would stick around at 8 under par. And of course, there's a lot of eagles today on that scoreboard. As we can tell, there's Shubham Jaglan with an eagle on the 9th. We also have Kalin Joshi who made one on the 9th and Veer Lawat on the 9th. The players have completely bludgeoned the 9th hole. And Manu Gandas making an eagle on the par 5 12th hole. Let's take a look now at Amardeep Malik putting here on the par 4 hole number 13.
Amardeep also opting for that claw-like grip. And it's a good putt.
Breaks away on the low side. We'll have that tiny putt remaining for his par. Pin today on the 13th hole is 13 in and 6 from the right. Only thing remaining on this hole was it's not tried at the 13th.
Let's have a look at some of the other scores. Akshay Sharma, 1 under par. Angad Cheema, 1 under par for the day. Then you have Kshitij Navikal, 3 under. Then you have MD Akbar, 2 under par. You also have Anshul Kavatyal, the long-hitting Anshul Kavatyal, 4 under par. Saptak Talwar, 3 under par. Manoj S, 1 under par. The youngster Aditesh Sandudro Sharon, the pair at 2 under par for the day. Manu Gandas, former number 1 at 6 under par, blistering around the round of the day thus far, alongside Shubham Jaglan, who's also 6 under par and really pushing Yuvraj Sandhu, who's at 4 under par himself.
On our screens now, N. Thangaraja putting for par. Should break a little bit from the left, and it does. And seems like a misread by Thangaraja.
Yeah, so that one goes begging for N. Thangaraja.
It would move down to 7 under par for the tournament. That would be an unfortunate miss for him. And Gaurav Pratap Singh cleaning up. No trouble here for him on the 13th.
We also want to mention our tour partner, Victorious Choice, is an entity inspired by the philosophy of Choice International Limited. It is promoted by Victorious Endeavours Private Limited. As we have a look at Shaurya now.
Well, it seems like he's playing the road hole here.
Yeah, seems to be in a spot of bother here.
Sixteenth hole, the par 5.
Downhill lie.
It's a tough par 5 if you remember, Shaurya. It used to be a long par 5 to get to.
Yeah, I don't think any players are getting here in 2. It plays to almost 600 yards, but never know with the way that they do it. Maybe the longer players, Veer, Yuvraj, might actually get there in 2.
Like you spoke about the long-hitting Anshul Kabatiyal earlier, he's actually made an eagle over here. Shaurya Bhattacharya, of course, leaving it into the jaws of that uphill.
Yeah,
into the green.
Unfortunate for him to have missed it there. He had a downhill lie, hitting from the rough, and not much green to work with, so not left with too many options there.
Coming up from over the green here was Shaurya. There is a road over here which connects the entrance of the golf course.
So on the scorecard, this hole measures 560. .560, but is always playing into the wind. Plays a lot longer than the yardage.
Also, the design of the hole is such that it's tough to get that tee shot straight into the fairway every time. So good 2 shots are required to be here in 2. And only a few players would be able to get there with the wind on this hole. Let's take a look at what Shaurya does now from over the green.
So having another shot at this chip. And doing a lot better this time. Maybe even holding it.
Lovely
what a
shot.
stellar shot by Shaurya Bhattacharya. So should be able to make his par, assuming that he was there in 2. So Yuvraj has reached 15 under par. We earlier spoke about 20 under par being breached. I think it's safe to say that that would be breached. He'll end the day at least 16 under par. And then another 4, 5, 6 under par. So maybe get to about 21, 22. Shubham Jaglan as well. He's already 6 under par and is not done yet. Looks to be in some brilliant form.
So, what is the answer to the question, Shaurya? What do you think is going to be the score at the end of tomorrow, and this being the final tournament of the year? So,
it's the final prediction as well.
Are you going to go with your prediction?
You're putting a lot of pressure on me, Rahul.
Of course, the pressure is all you can have now.
Yes, let's see if I can come up to the expectations when you ask me such an important question. I'd say that yes, 21 under par should be the number.
21 under par. Okay, I think it's probably a 19 or a 20 at max.
Okay, I go with the 21.
21, very specific.
Yes, very specific number.
Talking about specifics, what specifically are you going to be shooting at the PGTI Q School in January?
I'm pretty certain you'll be following up as we have a look at Ajitesh Sandhu.
I wish there was a commentator's job available at that point of time.
Oh, that just about missed it. Rather aggressive by Ajitesh Sandhu here, sending that 5.5 feet by. But I'm pretty certain we'll have some commentators at the qualifying school. Maybe some highlight reels, slow reels for you.
Maybe I just want to make a holiday out of it, just to watch you and create some commentary alongside.
Well, currently you'll be commentating alongside your namesake, Mr. Rahul Banerjee. 2 Rahuls yet again.
Mohammad Azhar really carrying on his good form for the day. 9 under par for the tournament, right alongside Kalin Joshi.
I have to tell you, Shaurya, someone actually made a meme of the 2 RBs commentating together.
Well, I'd be pretty
quite interesting.
I'd be pretty pleased if you guys were meme worthy, actually.
We are. We actually are. So, it was that part just seemed to have run away a little bit. No serious damage done by the looks of it.
Well, pins 22 in and 8 from the left. Not much room for the spin location. Looks like Azhar was putting slightly downhill from the angle that he was coming in. And Ajitesh Sandhu, of course, now contending with a 6-footer on the par 5. Sandhu's carrying on the back 9 for his day at 1 under par. Total of 2 under par for the day and 5 under par for the tournament, currently at a tie for 14th position. Sandhu also making the full card on the Asian Tour via the qualifying just the week prior. He's, of course, played plenty golf on the Asian Tour as well as on the DP World. Unfortunately, not finding the bottom of the cup here.
Looked to have rushed his putt a little bit, Rahul. Ajitesh, unusual for a man of his very, very unflappable temperament. He's kind of went at it a little more quickly than he would normally do.
Well, it's his reaction that tells everything. He just smiled and moved along, and that is just the demeanor that one must have right after a blemish like that.
This man seems to have no trouble. He's been brisk with the putter all day long. Quickly, he didn't hang around over the ball too long. So literally whacked it in. Mohammad Azhar, 9 under for the event, and going along very, very nicely indeed. Currently in share of 3rd place, along with Kalin Joshi. Veer Elawat and Gaurav Pratap Singh and Thangaraja in a 3-way tie for 5th. It's a top 8-7 for the event so far, but this man on screen continues to set the pace, both in the year-long race as well as at this event, the season-ending Tata Open, returning after a gap of 7 years, and a full field event once again. Yuvraj Sandhu. But he's being pushed all the way. Young Shubham Jaglan not taking a step back, right through, come through some scrappy patches, but has not let anything faze him.
Sandhu, of course, with multiple victories this year, surprised us with a not so great performance just the last week at Kharghar, which is quite unlike him. But back here with full form is Sandhu for yet another victory. Can he convert another victory, or will Jaglan take over? That is going to be the interesting stuff that we get to see over the course of the next 1.5 rounds.
But, moving day, as it's called, Rahul. Certainly, these two that the top of the leaderboard, Yuvraj Sandhu on your screens, and his closest pursuer, Shubham Jaglan, putting some space now between themselves and the rest of the field.
Sandhu, what looks like a birdie putt. Seems like he's come up short of the hole.
Looked like
here.
it ran out of gas, Rahul. Yeah, quite significantly short for players of this caliber to sort of. But like I like the point you made earlier about this transition from not just the distances you're catering from between Golmuri and Beldih, but also the significantly different green speeds between the two courses. 9.5 at Golmuri and now 8 for the last 3 days at Beldih. Shubham Jaglan now with his putt curling right to left, and that was another stellar effort by this young man. Rahul, the more I see of this young man, and you can watch that replay now, just a little bit of a break catered for beautifully and disappearing from sight. Long putt, 25 feet odd. And certainly his stint in the collegiate golf in the US, Rahul, seems to have toughened up this young man tremendously. He is let, by the nothing get, phase his game, so to say. It has recovered beautifully from left and right of the fairway since he's been on camera, and both times he's come up trumps. So great stuff. Product of, like Shaurya mentioned, the Golf Foundation. He was with them for a long time. Now based in the US.
Kushal Singh for a birdie here.
Oh, that broke. Just kept breaking away.
That broke so much from the right to the left.
Yeah.
Rahul, that was a big breaking right-left putt. It really doesn't appear so much of a break here from the camera's angle, but there was so much of drift in that golf ball. Thirteenth hole is a par 4 here on the Beldih course. Cow grass, as some call it, on the fairways as well as in the rough over here, which actually mounts as quite a challenge on the course. Greens, of course, have been redesigned and redone, as we have just heard, and I hear from the players that the course is playing in absolutely beautiful conditions. Both the courses, lush green conditions. Kushal Singh for a par now. Finds the bottom of the cup without any trouble. Kushal Singh to stay at 7 under par through 13 holes of this penultimate round. Yuvraj Sandhu.
He actually went back up the hill, Rahul, to take another look at why his putt had swung so much, and obviously paid dividends, because when he went back to the ball, he knew exactly where he needed to go. Yuvraj Sandhu now putting for par.
Well, this is to stay in the lead. Shubham Jaglan, of course, has now tied alongside him at 15 under par.
And just like that, yes, we have a bit of a change. At some point, maybe it has got to start to tell just the sheer volume of golf that Yuvraj has played through the year. To keep yourself sort of battle fit, battle sharp, day in and day out over 28 weeks. can't be easy, and particularly when you look at there was a 2 month gap in between, so they take away 8 weeks out of that, 8 to 10 weeks. So that that compression of the amount of golf that you're playing, quite remarkable that has shown this much of consistency. 6 wins over a season, going for a record that will be a record now for the PGTI if he does pull it off on Sunday. So it's remarkable consistency from this man. I mean, like you said, we may have had the odd blip here and there, including at Kharghar, but other than that, he's been remarkably on point.
Having said that, it's certainly not easy to be playing so many weeks in a year. You've got to stay in shape. You've got to stay mentally fit. A lot of things go into the mix. You're going from hotel to hotel. You're traveling a lot. So lots of stuff that goes in behind the scenes. Although, there are players in the past who played 42 to 44 weeks in a year. Very own Jim Milkha Singh has been known to do that. These are the kind of things that the best and the greatest champions have done and will continue to do, I think, going into the future. Players travel throughout the year living out of a suitcase, trotting along, trying to, get their games up to the point where they really want to go, which is the highest level of the sport. And that certainly doesn't come easy.
And what really is remarkable is that staying hungry. You have to be hungry to play at that level and want to win week in and week out.
Yes, absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head. You have to be really hungry and a really competitive person at heart to be able to go on week after week, because you don't really know, whether it's going to go your way or not go your way. And even if you're playing really well, to continue to keep walking down that path it's definitely challenging, and you can only do that if you remain hungry. While little confirmation here on the 13th, Shubham Jaglan actually hold that putt for a par. So Yuvraj Sandhu dropping that shot is only tied alongside him at 14 under. Kushal Singh now on the 14th hole, which also happens to be the leading score, 14 under. Looks like he likes that.
Very briskly picked up his tee, so he's just took one glance at the shot and walked away.
Body language sort of gives it away.
Absolutely. Yuvraj opting not to even use a tee on this one, just made a little bit of a little mound with the grass. And 37 yards, par 4. The fifth hole at Beldih.
Very peculiar, checking his first position in the swing every time he does that, and it's interesting to see that he stays in that routine all the time. Likes that tee shot as well.
Very pleasant winter's day by the looks of it, Rahul, a little mellow. Sunshine not too sharp, and players also making the most of these very amenable conditions. I'm sure they're enjoying playing when compared to the sort of heat they would face in April and thereafter in August, September around the country. So great way to wind up the season. The 2025 season has been one of the busiest in the PGTI's history. 28 events in all. This was the last one. The 2 crore Tata Open, giving the entire 126 eligible an opportunity to make one last move up the order to seal cards for the next season. Those who are on the fringes and those who are on the fringes fighting to keep their places. So lots to have all that's already transpired over the last opening 36 holes. The final stretch of the season. Siddipur. Putter from the edge of the green.
Rahman putting from the back of the green over here for this front flag on the 15th hole. Pin is only 9 in from the front, so Rahman seems to have overshot that by a couple of yards, maybe a couple of plenty.
.426 yard par 4 this one. Rahman, as Rahul just pointed out, going long with his approach. Long, slightly downhill birdie, but birdie putt by the looks of it.
I think it's going to break a little bit from the right to the left rim. It did actually break a little bit from the right to the left. A pretty good effort here by Siddiqur Rahman from nearly 30 to 35 feet away from the hole. Colin Joshi there on our screens, who's currently at 9 under par for the tournament. Can Colin Joshi actually create a fight on top of that leaderboard? Even Mohammad Azhar, what do you think, Mr. Banerjee? And also Veer Alawat. We've seen Veer coming up with some really stellar final rounds of late. Could he mount another challenge?
Absolutely. I mean, this ever since he got back from Europe, Rahul, he's been in really good form. Played just a handful of events. He's won 2 of them, including last week in Navi Mumbai. So he's always a dangerous contender. Hits the ball a long way. Probably one of the longest hitters in the PGTI now.
Yes.
So never discount him, or discount him at your own peril, whichever way you have to look at it. But Colin Joshi now looking to pick up a shot on the 15th. He's got something of a read from Rahman's putt. So,
has he got enough pace on that? He does, but not the right line.
Didn't break at all. This one just sailed straight through. So,
I think he was also coming from a slightly different angle than what
That is true.
Rahman
That's
did.
right.
So
That's right.
that could have played completely differently. Just a little bit of angle change from where one putt is coming from to the next can really change the way the ball would behave down on the ground. And certainly, Rahul, we do see that he's just 6 shots back, Veer to Shubham and Yuvraj right now. And looking at the way he's been playing, I think he could still mount a challenge going into the final round, especially if a player can take off with a solid start on that Golmuri 9. I think the sky is the limit from there.
Absolutely. You mount some early pressure on the lead group who will be playing behind you, and they'll know that somebody is really hard on their heels. It can have strange effects. Another man who's been in terrific form this last year and a half, Abhinav Lohan, again tracking from Cullen's line. Oh boy, that was a good attempt, but just a little shy.
Lohan currently at 6 under par for the tournament, leaving that one in the jaws. And I think that was a drop shot for him. Rahman now is to putt for par. Stellar birdie effort by him a little while earlier, coming from the back of the green. The players, starting off, whoever's at the top and is trying to catch up onto that leader has to really pick up those shots at the Golmuri course. The Beldih course does give you opportunities, but also it is not very friendly for a mishit shot. So players have to collect plenty shots from that front nine at Golmuri as they come to the second half at Beldih. Colin Joshi for a par. Colin Joshi cleans up there and would remain at 9 under par moving into the next hole. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tata Open 2025, 28th and the last event of the 2025 PGTI season. This is the...
This is steel, and this is an idea. So what happens when we join them? Something marvelous, like cars that are lighter, more fuel efficient, yet safer. Thanks to high-perform automotive steel, which lowers CO2 emission and makes this world a better place. Tomorrow is shaped by imagination and steel.
Tata Steel. We also make tomorrow.
What a great shot! But he looks tired. And that's a drinks break.
But what's the plus sign for? अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस। जब लगे थकान वाली प्यास, जरूरी है सेल लेवल हाइड्रेशन। इसके इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स आपके सेल्स को रिहाइड्रेट करें, एनर्जी लौटाएं, थकान वाली प्यास मिटाएं।
जब आपको भी लगे थकान वाली प्यास, अमृतांजन इलेक्ट्रो प्लस, थकान वाली प्यास के लिए।
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है।
मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने एक चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है। जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद क्या पावाली, जिद।
Back to the action here on the screen. Yuvraj Sandhu, the man who's tied atop that leaderboard alongside Shubham Jaglan. For all of you who might not know, Shubham Jaglan is now qualified to play the Asian Tour as well as plays on the PGA Tour Americas, just coming out of collegiate golf. Shubham has also been one of the top juniors here in the country and then went away for collegiate golf, and now he's back as a professional golfer, and boy oh boy is he back. He's got Yuvraj Sandhu, the number one on the order of merit, literally on his toes at this moment. On hole number 14. 14th here is a par 4, spanning over 422 yards. Tough tee shot, this one. Players usually go with a 3-wood or a hybrid club, and unfortunately that would lip out. Brilliant effort there by Yuvraj.
Just skating past the lower edge. He's kept the momentum going, other than the little blip on the 13th. And this is the man who's keeping the heat on, keeping this competitive, keeping this race, a 2-horse race, as it stands 14 under par for the tournament. 6 under for the day, Shubham Jaglan, as Rahul just mentioned to you, having completed a collegiate career in the States. It's back and showing us what he has picked up en route.
Jaglan for a birdie from just off the green on the left side. A tough driving hole, this 14th hole. Is that enough pace or no, it is not. So we now move and look at Kushal Singh, who's hit it inline and past the hole.
It's a very good chance there for Jaglan to have put himself ahead of his co-leader Yuvraj Sandhu, but he just seemed to have given that slope a little too much respect, and consequently the ball pulling up a little short of the hole and still on the higher side. So
Jaglan on the side of the green, already plotting his way into the next hole with his yardage book in his hand. Kushal Singh now for birdie from on top of the flag location. Oh, a lovely attempt here by Kushal. Gave it a lot of assertiveness, but missing it on the right side of the hole. Kushal will have to settle for a par here.
this is the quality of the putting, Rahul. It's evident from, even if there are misses, the misses are by such slim and narrow margins that it's really impressive to see, and consistently, no one's really sort of missed out by a wide margin or kept it too high, too low. It's been always by maybe a quarter of an inch, or half an inch. foot or so past the hole. Remarkable display with the flat stick by all we have seen on screen through the day. Here's the man who's currently in the joint lead, Shubham Jaglan, putting to stay alongside Yuvraj Sandhu.
No trouble here for Shubham Jaglan. Jaglan's got his father this week on his golf bag, helping him out. Of course, I'm sure his father is enjoying himself as Shubham must be back after a very long time in the United States. Well, news now comes in. Fidel Awad has actually finished his third round and has shot 6 under par to be at a total score of 9 under par. I think he has put himself well within striking distance, depending on what the leaders do over the next 5 holes.
Certainly, those two closing birdies, Rahul, a nice way to finish off the day with two eagles. That's very mixed sort of card. He had a whole host of.
Gaurav Pratap Singh on the 15th hole. Gaurav Pratap currently at a score of 2 under par for the day, 8 under par for the tournament. Looking for another birdie here. A bit of knee knocking there by Gaurav Pratap Singh and a bit of a slap to the thigh. Still have about 4 feet left for a par. Seems like he hammered that one in through the break, but I think the break took over a bit much. So we now have Amardeep Malik. This tournament has had a field of 126 professionals. With only 53 players making the cut after 2 days. Amardeep putting for a par. Brilliant putt here by Amardeep Malik to stick around at 7 under par for the tournament. Some of the previous winners of this tournament have been Mukesh Kumar. SSP Chaurasia has won this tournament 3 times. Mukesh Kumar has won it 3 times. Ashok Kumar has won it 3 times. And Om Prakash Chauhan has also won it 2 times in the past. Also, Sri Lankan Mithun Pereira has won it in 2012 and is back to play here. In fact, what might be a reincarnation of his professional golfing career. Gaurav Pratap Singh putting for a par here on the 15th hole at the Beldih course. No trouble there for him. In fact, another player who's won this tournament is Anura Rohana, pretty much a legend of Sri Lankan golf. He won it in 2017. We haven't seen much of Anura over the past year or so, but he has been a veteran in the golfing circles.
And certainly, Thangaraja keeping the Sri Lanka flag flying in the absence of Anura Rohana, and Mithun could possibly be playing here on invitation because, like I said, after last year he said he's hanging up his boots, but here he's back again. So maybe the bug has bitten him and couldn't stay away from the fire of competition, so to say. But yeah.
back here on the 16th, the par 5. We're taking a look at the group of Kalin Joshi, Siddiqur Rahman, and Abhinav Lohan. And a quick mention to our tour partners: Victoria's Choice, IndusInd Bank, Amrutanjan Electro Plus, Rolex, Amul, and Campa. And of course, Tata, who is the host for this Tata Open 2025. And, without the support of the sponsors, the corporates, it'll be very tough to have the type of competition that we're able to have over here. And, it's great to see all of the corporate support that's coming out for sports and sports in general. It's been great for the development of sports and golf, to be specific, over the last year or two. Rahman now from the right side of the green here on the 16th hole. Did he overcook that? We can't quite see the golf ball. Has he hit that over the green? I think that he's hit that past the hole by about 15 odd feet. He will have a similar putt to what Ajitesh Sandhu did a few moments ago, downhill towards the hole. And we have Abhinav Lohan going up and down, trying to total out what he needs to do, as Kalin Joshi comes in from that space where we can hardly see him.
Pretty deep looking bunker there, Raul. He's getting a nice bit of height on that ball and speed.
Coming up way short of the hole. Kalin Joshi will have nearly 15 feet left for a birdie attempt.
I think he got a little tricked by that slope. He would have thought that the ball would roll towards a little more towards the flag, but it just cut away and to the right. So
well, tricks are all this game has up its sleeve. So another trick that I have is to give you a little shake up in the commentary box. And let me now call upon Shaurya Singh, who can quite stir the pot himself.
So between the two of them, Shaurya Singh and Rahul Bajaj, over the years has certainly stirred the pot and displayed more than a few tricks on the course. Let's not talk about what off the course, so let's stick to on the course. Plenty of trickery they've shown in their time on the course, and here a little bit of trickery. Oh my goodness, Abhinav Lohan just missing out on what would have been a terrific chip in.
Thank you for that, Rahul. The trickery indeed would be required by one of the top two players to separate himself from the other one, as both Yuvraj and Shubham now find themselves locked atop the leaderboard. It's been interesting. We are halfway through the penultimate, more than halfway through the penultimate day's play. And we still have about 4 holes left here on the back nine on Saturday. It's been a stellar event thus far here from Jamshedpur. The Tata Open 2025. A rich legacy this tournament has. Seen some big champions. And it's always been the feather in the cap of the professional golf tour of India at this top. And what this group means not just to the country, but for sport in general. We already know what they do for football and all other sports, but their effort in golf is really praiseworthy, as we have a look at Kalin here on hole number 16. The golfer based out of Bengaluru. Really proficient golfer Kalin, and bludgeons the drive. A long driver of the ball is Kalin Joshi. Winner on the Asian Tour as well. Putt should break a little bit from Kalin's left here at the par 5 16th. Par 5 is where he really does earn his keep. Oh, that was a really good putt. And missing it from the correct side, missing a left-right putt on the higher side. That's what you like to see more of. And we also implore our viewers to let us know and leave their comments on YouTube. So we got an update that regarding Om Prakash's golf, and he is indeed based out of Mao and plays his golf at the military headquarters of war. So, of course, he's very aptly prepared for golf when he plays at the military headquarters of war. So, I must say that the association between the defense services and sport, especially golf, goes a long way. Both myself and Rahul have really benefited from our association. Okay, have a look at Siddiqur at hole number 16.
Ball drifting past there on the high side. Another course that is a military course that has produced a remarkable number of golfers who've done well over the years. Shaurya is Meerut.
Yes, Meerut, of course, Jyoti Randhawa, Digvijay Singh, both are synonymous with Indian golf, and they've really played and enjoyed the golf there at Meerut. As you have a look at Abhinav Lohan, originally based out of Faridabad, here playing the 16th. All of us have played a lot of golf at this golf course, especially amateur, junior golf. This has seen a lot of traffic, and it's the love for sport in this part of the country. Football, of course, runs in the veins, but golf, of course, is now picking up as well.
Hockey is another sport that's got very deep roots in Jharkhand. A remarkable number of legendary players, hockey players, have come out of there. Abhinav just missing on the low side there. He's disappointed. He knows he should have done better than that one. Yes, this part of the world certainly has tremendous, not just potential but history when it comes to sport and Indian sport. So between Ranchi and Jharkhand, Ranchi, of course, being the hometown of one of India's most famous and most beloved cricket captains, Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Yes, MSD, a man who signifies, what it means to be a sportsman and embodies fitness. Even at this age, playing the IPL and still fit as a fiddle is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I must say that we also have stars in the making. None other than Yuvraj, Shubham Jaglan as well. Yuvraj has also played a lot of golf with the cricketer Yuvraj Singh, so he knows a thing or two about cricket. And of course, talking about cricket, our tour is spearheaded than none other than Mr. Kapil Dev, the Haryana Hurricane, the wisdom cricketer of the century. I think sport and golf and cricket go hand in hand. A lot of cricketers take to the game, Murli Karthik being one of them. Our co-commentator Ashwin would have been better inclined to tell you about that as you have a look at Cullen cleaning up for after his first putt. Low round of the day also belonging to Kshitij Navid Kaul, a stellar 6 under par. That's a good putt by Cullen. And you also have a 6 under by Manu Gandas, former number 1. And Veer Lawat as well at 6 under par. Veer has the penchant for saving the best for last. As you have a look at hole number 17, Manoj S.
It's just
on the par 3. And look at a shot that made it happen. What a time for a hole in one. The youngster has the world at his feet, playing some brilliant golf.
Is also in contention for the emerging talent of the year. Shaurya is well in the lead in that race. This young man from Bangalore.
Let's relish this shot and enjoy its splendor once again. Look at that.
Straight as an arrow. Straight as an arrow.
Oh, what a thing of beauty. Congratulations.
Dead straight, went around the hole once before dropping in, and what a display.
Not just a hole in one, but having it on record for posterity.
Absolutely.
For all times. Something that is I become a little presumptuous. As future generations can watch and regale in. These are once in a lifetime moments. As we have a look at Yuvraj at hole number 15, the par 4. And that a little bit of chink in the armor right there.
So that was his second drop shot on the at Beldih. What would be otherwise the back nine of a regular golf course. Kushal Singh now, and also opens the door just a little bit for Shubham Jaglan. So we'll wait to get an update on where he is placed.
Kushal employing the plum bobbing technique of reading the line. That was a classical way of reading the line. You don't see too many players employ that. So it's good that he's going back to the roots of golf and how line was led. And he's coming along well on this back nine as well with a birdie.
Siddiqur off the tee on 17.
That ball would bound over the green into that rough. I'll have some work. Tricky up and down from there. Not much green to work with.
Which sort of rough is more difficult to deal with, Shaurya? Is it the wispier grass or is it this thick crab and elephant grass? Which one is more difficult?
The thicker grass.
Does
Definitely.
it grab your club or does it throw it off?
Adds a lot more uncertainty to the shot. Because,
in terms of what?
Because the blades of grass can often get, the club can get stuck in the blades of grass. So you don't quite know how it'll react.
Okay.
So, wispier grass is a lot more predictable. So here, you really have to be a very good practitioner of the short game, know how to utilize the leading edge, the bounce. It's not that straightforward. As we have a look at Cullen. Cullen always seems like he has electricity running through him. Very quick body movements that he has. Fast twitch muscle fibers that enable him to hit the ball this far. And that's a good shot again. About 20 feet under the flag. It's a good effort by Cullen H. Joshi from Bengaluru, who's 3 under par today and 9 under for the tournament. And Yuvraj Sandhu, having dropped another shot, would move to 13 under.
It's certainly an absolute needle battle at the top, and as much as it is further down the order, Shaurya. Literally a hand span covering those in the top 10. It's 9 under, 8 under, 7 under, 6 under. So it's really a close fight all the way. It's just not for the top, but even for places 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down to 10, even 15. A real ding-dong battle in progress in front of us, and we are very pleased and proud to bring to you this live coverage of the season-ending event of the PGTI's 2025 calendar. 28th event, probably a record in its own way. Record certainly in terms of prize money, record in terms of the PGTI Order of Merit winner, who's one of the highest ever already. And a significant amount could be added to his takeaway, Yuvraj Sandhu's, with 6 wins already, gunning for a 7th. But currently being put under a little amount of pressure by Shubham Jaglan. And Manoj there, very proud. In fact, I think he looks standing there. It looks like he doesn't quite believe what he's done. Arms on hips, and he says, "Wow, did I actually do that?" He came, had a first look at the ball, walked away, then got his breathing and his thing down a little bit to normal before actually picking out the ball. He wants to make sure as many people around him will be there to see. And he's forgetting that there's a camera on him, so this is recorded for posterity.
Yes, a beautiful moment for the young man. It's really the entire maturation process happens so much faster now. I think I don't know what is the generation called. Gen Z was, I think, the ones. I think I'm a millennial. Gen Z is the one after that. I think they call it the generation Alpha. If I'm not wrong, there are too many words, but I tell you that much that they learn a lot faster. They're performing feats at 17, which which were unbeknownst to us. So it's good for sport, good for the game of golf.
No doubt. I mean, at age 17 to hit off a full length professional distance and ace it. Gaurav Pratap now on screen.
Gaurav Pratap Singh really take that practice swing looks rather aggressive for a shot. That shot, so looks like he's going a la Mickelson route. Going to try and get a nice little flop shot in here. Oh, he's just really hit that high. And he's done it really well, judged it to perfection. Gaurav Pratap Singh, beautiful shot by GPS, as he's called by us affectionately. Gaurav Pratap Singh. He often blows hot and cold. He's a colorful character, full of aggression and positivity. I've played a lot of golf alongside him. As I have a look at N. Thangaraja here on the par 5, very even keeled. It wouldn't be wrong to give him the moniker the smiling assassin. He's deadly accurate with the driver and with the chipping club as well. Beautifully done.
Smiling assassin for sure. He's smiled his way to 3 wins this year, Shaurya. Smiled his way to second place on the order of merit. And I bet he's going to be smiling when he sinks it.
And it's often very difficult to be number one and still be liked by your peers. I think he's been able to achieve that feat. He's one of the few players who's universally liked and is an absolute thorough gentleman. Came from very humble backgrounds, was actually a tailor, believe it or not, at one point in time in Sri Lanka. And post that, he's done so well for himself. And that's golf. You see many of these Cinderella stories in the game of sport, rather the game of golf, and even sport in general, but golf more so. It's a unique game, individual game. You can't really blame anyone else if it's not going your way. And you can reap a lot of reward, stitched together, no pun intended, a good career for yourself. As you have a look at Amardeep Malik.
2 mates from the Noida golf course on the same frame there for you.
Very similar career trajectory that we just spoke about. Similar age, similar locality and location that they belong to, similar state as well. So similar roots. So a lot of similarity between these two players, of course, but they play their golf in very different styles. Gaurav Pratap Singh a lot more swashbuckling, and Amardeep Malik here with this putt right to left, but we've seen the putter has not quite worked. It's charmed today on the greens. And that goes a begging for Amardeep.
And Gaurav Pratap's turn to follow that very sweet looking flop shot from the thick rough off the green. Like Shaurya said, executed beautifully.
Yeah, it's the first time I'm seeing him in flamboyant pink. Otherwise, he goes with a lot more sober colors. I think.
But you have to say, it kind of suits him. He's looking pretty good in it.
Even if it didn't, I would have to say that because, as I told you, he's a man known for his aggression. Gaurav Pratap Singh here with this putt, which for his birdie. After that, really nice flop shot that we had a look at. Oh, that goes a begging. So Gaurav Pratap Singh would remain at 8 under par. Well, our leader now for the first time is Shubham Jaglan. Yuvraj Sandhu now finds himself in the rear view looking ahead. He's one behind.
It'll be good. It's interesting to see how he works this out over the last day. Remaining 2 holes, the 3 holes for today, and then 18 tomorrow. There's 21 odd holes.
If the past, my apologies to cut you off there. If the past is anything,
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद
Back to the action now. Abhinav Lohan. Giving this a lot of thought and a lot of deliberation here. These short putts require the players to get the line correct, especially as they're playing on a different surface as to the one compared at Golmuri. That's a lot more slicker, so they have to adjust. And as they say, it doesn't matter how they go in as long as they do. It's a scorecard, not a postcard. Ain't gotta look pretty.
But boy, was that a hard stopper. I bet Abhinav had his heart pounding a little bit there. What? Tremendous. Actually hesitated for more than a second on the lip before deciding to plop in. All's well that ends well. And it's now Rahman's turn to finish off with this penultimate hole on moving day of the final event of the PGTI's 2025 calendar, the 2 crore rupee Tata Open. Returning as a full field event after a gap of 7 years. It was played as a tour championship for 6 years, intervening in till 2024. Siddiqur Rahman 7 under par for the tournament.
Hole number 17, the par 3, which is seen an ace by the young man Manoj S. The downhill putt for Siddiqur should break from his left. Cullen now using the aim point method. What the players do, you must be wondering how he's walking across his line on either side. What they try to see is gauge the lie of the land, the slope. So you try and walk behind your line or adjacent to it and see how much is the slope. And then, of course, you see the direction of the grass and you try to marry the two and then you arrive at your line. So let's see if the preparation is on point. Of course, you also have the tiny little question of execution.
Tiniest and most weighty.
Yes, he does well and holds that.
So all of those imponderables and calculations working for Kalin Joshi here. All the preparation that he took.
We also gotten an update that Manoj has been able to make par on 18 as well. So a beautiful 4 under par with a hole in one. As you have a look at Thanga here at the par 3. Who's hit a decent shot, just missing it to the left hand side. Should be a fairly straightforward up and down for Thanga from there. Tugged it a little bit, maybe going for the flag.
So that ace and the following par was also putting the young man into the top 10. Manoj S.
Now Gaurav Pratap Singh on this hole. This is not a pin position that really would suit his eye. He likes to work it from left to right. So not much space here for a fade. Draw is the shot of choice, but he is lining up on the right hand side of this tee. So from that, I can infer that maybe he's trying to hit a fade here. Because if you miss it on the left, there is a little bit of slope that you've seen where Thanga ended up. Let's see where. Gaurav, of course, on point with that left to right fade and hitting it to perfection, about 8 to 9 feet. Dialed in is Gaurav Pratap Singh. Now that brief pause at the top of the swing. Allah Hideki Matsuyama, as Mr. Banerjee had pointed out. working on tempo. He favors a draw, does Amardeep. So look for this ball to come in with a little bit of English from right to left. Now there's that pause. So the ball is turning over. And turning over beautifully. That's another good shot. Should stay at the back edge of the green. And yes, he will be able to mark that and putt from there for a birdie, maybe all of 20 feet downhill. Really good putt by Amardeep. My apologies, really good shot by Amardeep Malik here at hole number 17. And I'm joined now by Mr. Rahul Bajaj. Let's have a look at UV on hole 16. Hitting his third shot on the par 5 after that bogey on the last hole. Down now, about 3.5 feet coming back for his birdie. We can see Shubham with the putter out, waltzing across the green. Seems like he's hit the green in two, in fact. Oh, that needs to settle. A little bit too much heat on that one. We'll have an 8-footer for his birdie, assuming that he's here in two on the edge of the green, with most of the players being able to reach here this week.
And Shubham presenting that clean scorecard today and being able to stay atop at 14 under par. Will this be Shubham Jaglan's maiden victory? Is yet to be seen, but certainly seems like he's very well positioned for that feat.
Has been very effective on the professional golf tour of India and the limited starts that he's had here. Precise, powerful, and effective. As he putts here for what appears to be, we're assuming his eagle putt. We'll soon find out.
So interesting stuff here with Manoj S making that hole-in-one on the 17th hole, par 3. And he's found himself now at 8 under par for the tournament. Tie for 6th position as of right now. The 17th hole placed 288 yards off the tee box to the middle of the green. So look for the players hitting anywhere between a 7 or a 6 iron. Shubham Jaglan with yet another attempt and leaves it just about shy of it. And that was a birdie putt. He should finish with a par here.
So Shubham wouldn't gain a shot then. That would just be a par for Shubham Jaglan. Now Yuvraj, on the other hand, appears to be has a birdie putt. Let's have a look at some of the other scores. Most of the players have finished their rounds, especially the ones starting at Beldih. And the pick, a few good scores. Angad Chima, 2 under par today. Anshul Khavatyal, 2 under. Divyanshu Bajaj, a golfer from Kolkata, in with a beautiful round of 4 under par today. Then you have Saptak Talwar, based out of Greater Noida, 3 under par. 6 under par, Shitsna with Qual. Stellar round indeed by the young man. Kushal here now. He saw that chip run a fair distance past. Now he has this 8 or 9 footer in order to make his birdie.
Needs to be careful on this one, and he does. Kushal Singh with another birdie on this par 5. Moves to 8 under par for the tournament.
You can see that he was happy about that by the display of emotion there. Kushal, of course, is very emotive and has a great sense of humor as well. So 2 under on this back 9. So Kushal would move to 8 under for the tournament. Just, catching, almost a purple patch in the last 3-4 tournaments. He's in the middle of it, playing really well.
Yes, he's putting himself in a good position week after week, which is superb because if he keeps doing that, he will surely have the door opening on him pretty soon. Maybe get his own maiden victory.
A lot of break in this one for Yuvraj. Will need to be hit with authority. And it has. So the leader now is Yuvraj Sandhu alongside Shubham Jaglan. So he lost his lead but regained it back within a hole.
Absolutely did. And conviction is something that Yuvraj surely has on his putts, and beautifully struck putt there with authority, as you said, Shaurya. Let's take a look now at Amardeep Malik coming from the back of the green here on the 17th hole.
Amardeep Malik also utilizing the claw grip.
It's become quite a common thing these days on the professional tours, the claw grip. We're deactivating that right hand, and what a putt that is.
And why not?
Absolutely claws that one into the hole.
I think, claw is the way to go. Use a claw if you want to get low. Doesn't quite rhyme, but I gave it a shot.
Didn't rhyme either.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's another thing that you can try. The claw grip. Works like a charm, apparently.
Only if you can pause and hit it like Amardeep Malik. Let's take a look now at Gaurav Pratap Singh. He's also very well poised here for a birdie opportunity, about 15 feet away from the hole. Beautiful approach to this pin location, which is on the right side of the green with 19 in from the front. Placed himself beautifully from that tee box.
Gaurav Pratap hasn't really changed much in his game. Employs the same kind of technique, short game, even the putting stance. Everything has remained constant over the years. And runs that about 3 feet by. That was a good effort, nevertheless, from Gaurav Pratap Singh. Veer Lawat also in with the beautiful 6 under par today, so he would move to 9 under as well. Bouncing from a 76 yesterday, bouncing back in style. And Thangaraja now cleaning up. Oh.
Well, he had to really make that dramatic, didn't he? Nearly 180 degrees back into the hole, but as long as it finds the bottom of the cup.
The players really do have a lot to play for this year. Straight off the bat, they'll have the league. They'll have a little bit of a reprieve in the month of January, the top 60 golfers. The rest will, of course, be going to the Crucible. That is also called the Professional Golf Tour of India Qualifying School, multiple stages. And so they cool their heels, or would they be practicing or just take some time off, Rahul? What do you think?
Well, I think all the players who are in the top 60 will certainly take about maybe 10 days off, have a little bit of a New Year Eve, and chill out till about the 10th of the month, and then have to get back to work. Otherwise, who's going to prep for the league? And then, of course, we've got the players who are outside of the top 60. Those players will be on the toes right after this tournament onwards, and they've got to prep up to play the qualifying well. And so are you, Shaurya. How are you prepping for the qualifying school?
Well, I'm prepping by talking about the game of golf. That often helps you a lot. You know what not to do. And I'm also visualizing, but I haven't gotten around to playing golf yet. So it's an annual excursion that's become more of a holiday as the years have gone on. So I haven't really gotten around to playing golf, but I'm pretty certain maybe a week before that I'll try and get a few rounds in. But I have great expectations, and that's about it.
Well, having the mindset of a champion is anyway half the battle won. So you won half the battle already. And the rest can be won when you get there.
Thank you, my friend, as we have a look at hole number 17.
Sandhu coming up on this par 3, 188 yards off that tee box. Currently 14 under par, tied alongside Jaglan.
So what club do you think he would be hitting to this hole, 188 yards?
I think should be somewhere between an 8 and a 7 iron is what most of the players would be using, unless the wind is from the front, and then we'd see maybe a 6 iron coming in.
What
Brilliant
an
shot
absolute
here.
beauty. You know, another difference that you'd see how quickly his ball came to a stop. He's one of the only few players who can do it on a surface like this.
Having said that, in fact, in the last group, if you noticed, even Gaurav Pratap was able to stop the ball really quickly on that flag location. Goes to show the amount of compression that both the players might have on it. Let's see if Kushal Singh can employ the same kind of compression on the ball.
And I think is it safe to say that compression and distance go hand in hand, or is there more to it? The quality of hit um, alongside the shaft lean or something like that you can educate us. But normally you see the longer hitters tend to get the ball to a quicker stop.
Yeah, speed certainly, increased speed will give you increased spin, and of course, that along with a lot of control over the dynamic loft is what will help you. Kushal Singh, I think, has missed it just to the right of the green. Should not be very far away from the flag, though.
Yeah, we've seen a few hits by him which veer off to the right. We saw that on hole number 11 as well. So it seems that his miss hit is normally one that goes a little to the right hand side.
Well, even Trackman says that the right is the positive side, so I guess he's in fine fettle there. Let's take a look now at Shubham Jaglan.
You know, Shubham's swing reminds me a little bit of erstwhile David Duval when he was world number one. Of course, not as flat, but very good, strong sort of swing that he has. Let's see if he can hit it as well. Just missing it on the left hand side. We saw N. Thangaraja there as well.
I think the spin is more towards this little narrow backside of the green, if I'm not wrong, and that's what's the challenging part about this flag. There we've got a brilliant view.
That's a view of hole number 18.
And there we are now with Colin Joshi on the screen playing alongside Abhinav Lohan. Colin, who is currently at 9 under par for the tournament. Looks like he's putting for yet another birdie. It's like a very makeable opportunity that Colin has given himself over here on the final hole of the third round.
Also getting a good view of his shoes. Look rather stylish. Simplicity.
Get in the hole and leaves it just short. We'll have to settle for a par here and stick around at 9 under par to start his final round charge. Well, certainly that 2 extra rolls would have helped.
But as of now, Veer Alawat would be in the final group as he had a better third round. So it looks like Shubham Jaglan, Yuvraj Sandhu and Veer Alawat would be in the final group tomorrow. Unless Kushal can make a birdie or two. He's in that quartet, rather, no, 5 players at 8 under par. That would, I think, be called a pentuplet, if I'm not wrong. I'll have to look it up if there is such a word as such.
In fact, Thangaraja also with that 18th hole to go for him could, in fact, finish at 10 under par and give himself a spot in that leader group. And certainly we've got the 2 players in that leader group are pretty finalized with Shubham and Yuvraj. Lohan now on the 18th. Lohan also seems to be putting with one of those all famous these days lie angle balanced kind of putters. Putting for a par. Balanced enough, and yes, it is.
Yes, perfectly balanced. Drops in the heart of the hole. Abhinav Lohan remains at 5 under par. We only have our leader group that will come through here at hole number 18.
We have Rahman now on our screen, currently at 7 under par for the tournament, at a tie for 11th position.
What kind of break are we looking at for this putt as we go back to Rocky Kushal Singh on hole number 17? Delivering almost a knockout punch here at 17. That was a brilliant chip by Kushal. A colorful character, Kushal Singh. left the game for a year, and then realized that he really did love the allure and of the game, and came back to it. Take some time away from it, and I think that's done him wonders.
Shubham now coming up from that left bunker here on the 17th par 3.
Classical technique. He's the archetypal golfer. Is Shubham, fit, strong, very athletic. What an absolute beauty. Makes it look rather effortless.
Dropped it soft, just like a butterfly, dead on that flag location, giving himself just about 3 or 4 feet for a par here.
Has great ability to adapt as well, having played a lot of his golf in America, now here playing different greens, uh, different speeds as well, and has been able to hit the ground running. I find that really praiseworthy.
Sandhu now taking a look at the line from the other side of the hole. You ever notice he always sits down in an angle to read the line, never sits straight in line 90 degrees to the ball or the hole, always sits in an angle.
Yeah, almost like stalking a prey. I think a lot of these players have their own individual style. You remember Jyoti Randhawa, of course, the unmistakable style that he used to read the line, and also used to try and get to an angle. I think there's something to it, Rahul.
He used to bounce around on his calves from the left to the right, finding out which side the ball's going to break from, and then used to sort of stick around there to figure out how much break there was. But Yuvraj though always lines up kind of like in a similar way on every putt, but always angled up, like a little tilt or the turn of the shoulders.
There could be something about the dominant eye. Like how shooters have one dominant eye, so maybe that's something that he's determined, and that is something that you can find out your own dominant eye. It's either mostly it's right, but if it's the other one, then maybe that has something to do with how he is reading the line.
Well, let's take a look at this birdie putt now from Yuvraj. This putt to go to 15 under par and solo lead.
Yeah, this will again break from the left.
Not quite happy with the line that he's put on the ball over there. Seems like a bit of a redo required.
Another thing that golf definitely does keep you fit. You're on your haunches a lot, reading the line. There's some study that golf actually lengthens your lifespan by a considerable amount. So another reason for all our viewers to go hit the greens.
Is that why you take so long on the golf course, Shaurya?
Maybe I think I'm going to be like a tortoise. Oh, that misses it on the lower side. Again, we've seen him do that. This is the third time we've seen it on the back nine, missing left to right putts on the lower side.
I must say that your line reading skills are really on point.
That's one of the reasons that I used to take so much time.
Surprisingly, you read other players' putts quite fast, much faster than your own.
It's a lot easier to do it when you're not playing yourself. But jokes apart, that's surprising that he missed it again on the lower side.
Also, you note that some of these putts that he like this one wasn't quite the authoritative stroke that he usually gives on the putt. Not as firm as confident as he would usually be seen putting.
Also, these greens are about a foot and a half slower than the ones at Golmuri, so it's not that easy to adapt as well. You're playing two different surfaces.
Jaglan now for a par. Sandy par, as would be called in club golf. Let's see if Shubham Jaglan can collect an X over here.
Yes, for all the golf betting aficionados, the next is if you hit a green, so you get an extra point when you play your auto press and so on and so forth. Golf is so interesting. You can always have a wager between you and your co-players, and that's what adds a lot of excitement to the game of golf as Shubham tries to make his par after that beautifully executed bunker shot, and he stays in the lead alongside Yuvraj Sandhu.
So you've got the 18th hole now remaining to see if any of these players ends up separating themselves, or are they going to come in tomorrow at the same level and go all guns blazing.
I think your prediction will definitely hold true. It seems like 21 is definitely looking outside the realm of possibilities. Looks like 18 or 19 might indeed be the number.
Having said that, can Veer Alawat get out on a prowl tomorrow or not? That remains to be seen. And having said that, even Kalin and Thangaraja are very much poised in the right position over here as of right now at 9 under par. But certainly will need a hot start to the day.
See if Kushal can capitalize on that really good chip shot. Kushal Singh. Oh, that's a semi horseshoe. Rather unfortunate.
This is the third time that I've seen the commentators curse today, Shaurya.
Well,
And somehow it's got you involved in it every time.
My unfortunately my forked tongue is causing a little bit of problem. So the players on green, they're missing it, but not all the time. Look at that beautiful bunker shot. Of
Lovely
course,
shot.
I didn't quite call it.
Excellent shot that. Yuvraj Sandhu now on the 18th. Nice smooth swing there for Yuvraj.
That's a swing that our youngsters can try and emulate. Shubham Jaglan. The golfers, these are the modern golfers. Athletic, strong, flexible, able to hold that finish each and every time. It's not easy when you're hitting a driver as far as they do. They all carry it 300 yards in the air. Yuvraj maybe even more than 300. Look at the speed on that.
I mean, I think his follow through is as fast as his backswing.
That's a good.
Or the other way around, actually. His backswing's as fast as his follow through.
Sometimes we end up going in a state of trance. Kushal, of course, has seemed that Kushal's been working on his speed as well. Be interesting to note where he ends up in relation to these other two players who are probably one of the longest in the field, Yuvraj and Shubham as well.
I wouldn't be quite sure about the exactness of how far Kushal hits it, but if I'm not wrong, he does pack quite a punch behind the ball. Certainly one of the longer ones out there.
Kushal, but this week he's pounding it. He's right there next to Yuvraj. So, golf, of course, is also a game of confidence. He's playing well, and that helps with the way you're feeling, how you're reacting. So it's really good to see that he can go toe to toe with the best.
Thangaraja now on this 18th hole. Can Thangaraja make this birdie putt here on the 18th and move to 10 under par and find himself that spot in the leader group tomorrow? Thangaraja, all the way from Sri Lanka, number 2 on the order of merit here on the PGTI.
The winner of the order of merit will, of course, get to play on the DP World Tour. Get a full card, will Yuvraj. That's going to be quite the achievement. And I have great hopes that he'll have a stellar year.
Thangaraja, a little bit of a long range attempt over here. I'm sure he's trying to make this. Needs a birdie. And that'll be just about 2 feet away for a par now for Sri Lanka's and Thangaraja.
Misses it on the upper side. Now Gaurav Pratap Singh, you're at hole number 18. Gaurav Pratap Singh really stalking this putt, making sure that he gets the correct line. This putt should have a little bit of break on it from his left. These are the putts that are rather slippery and need to be hit with authority. I think we're not even going to talk about the commentator's curse at this point in time. But yes, it was a slippery putt indeed. And we've seen it here at Beldih. The shorter putts, they need to be hit a little firmer. A considerable amount of break on them.
I have a feeling that some of the players are going to be looking for you after today, Shaurya.
I think I better do a Houdini then. So that's an unfortunate miss for Gaurav Pratap, who would end at 7 under par. It's always the left to right putts that are a lot more difficult than the right to left ones for a right-handed player.
Well, it certainly doesn't make the lunch taste all that good when you finish up with a bogey, although lunch will taste absolutely fine for N. Thangaraja. Although we still have the final round remaining, so the players can come back and catch up on all of the birdies that they see that they've left out of there.
Yeah, so the penultimate group finishes their round, and now you have an aerial view of where the tee shots for the final group have ended up. What kind of yardage are we looking at to the flag for Yuvraj and Kushal?
I think, Shaurya, we're looking at anywhere between about 100 to 120 yards for this flag location today. Flag is 15 in and 6 from the left. So I think on this 18th hole here at the Beldih course, which is the 9th hole of this course, you could actually, once you're in the fairway of the tee, you very much have an attackable flag location look, attackable shot about 100, 120 yards in. So let's see if these players in the leader group can actually get this one up close and personal with this flag. Shubham, of course, is on the right side of the fairway, and Yuvraj and Kushal seem to have found the dead center of it.
The hole becomes a little shorter from the right-hand side, but a lot riskier, bringing that tree line into play as well. This is the fat of the fairway. I see how Yuvraj first to go, I believe.
Yes, it indeed is. That drone seems to have gone way far up now. Someone bring it back down.
This whole 18th plays to 390. It plays longer because sort of a dog leg to the right.
I think it's exactly because of that reason that you mentioned just a few moments ago. You've got to aim towards the left center of the fairway, which makes it a little bit longer. Straight down, kind of where Shubham Jaglan has gone, is plays a little bit shorter. Of course, Shubham, playing with fire at this moment, and seems like someone heard me and got the drone down, and it's disturbing Yuvraj Sandhu.
Perfect setting. Here at hole number 18. Very accessible flag for these players who've hit their drives this far. I don't think the bunker would really be a factor with them, having nothing more than wedges coming in.
Look for this to get close. Yuvraj Sandhu to separate himself here on the 18th hole. Final hole of the penultimate day.
This shot gets underway.
Sandhu very aggressive through the ball. Sets his backswing up nicely and then goes aggressively through it. Can't quite see where the golf ball is landed up. I think it has missed a little bit towards the right side.
He's rather deliberate on that shot. Looked a little uncertain as far as club selection went.
It looks like it's left Kushal a little bit confused. Found the paces now.
Kushal Singh, if he can make birdie, he would move to 8 under par. And for a tie for 6th position. Looks like he was trying to flight it a little lower in there. Let's see how he's done. That's a decent shot, about 15 feet short and right off the flag. 20 feet rather.
That'll be a long birdie putt, but a birdie putt nonetheless for Kushal coming into this final hole of the day. Shubham Jaglan now coming up from the right side of the fairway. Probably has a better look at the flag location owing from the angle.
Oh, really good shot by Shubham. About 10 feet. Uphill right to left.
Very makeable birdie opportunity here for Jaglan.
Also imparts a lot of spin, does Shubham, from around that yardage of 110, 120.
Speed certainly got a lot to do with that, Shaurya, isn't it? The kind of speed that he has through the ball will definitely help him, get some spin on that golf ball, shaft off a little bit off the top layer of the ball.
Yeah, great camera work as well. And also want to take a moment to appreciate the greenskeepers at both these golf courses. They've been able to deliver an absolute pristine golf course for our players, and the players have delivered as well here at the penultimate day of the Tata Open 2025, the big one. This tournament is the biggest prize purse for the year, 2 crore, being played at the Golmuri and Beldih golf courses. The number one order of merit on the order of merit is Yuvraj Sandhu. He's a player that you just saw on your screens. Currently sitting at 1 crore 61, and if he's to win this week, would set a new record at 191. Really impressive. 6 victories already this year, and his win ratio is also impressive. 6 victories out of 18 starts, so 33% win percentage. Just to put it in context, of course, Tiger Woods I think had a win percentage of 27. Of course, that was a PGA Tour, so you can't quite compare it. But just to give you an idea that how difficult it is in golf, you're losing most of the time as opposed to winning. It's not a two-man sport or a two-team sport. It's very different from that. It's not a knockout sport either. So anything over double digit is extremely impressive. He's missed the green to the left-hand side. Should be fairly comfortable. It's lucky for him to have stayed there and not rolled down. Normally there's a little bit of a trough where it rolls and gets on the lower level, but it's stayed up.
An interesting shot, this Sandhu coming up from off the green. Uphill shot. Let's see if he uses spin or uses a release on the ball over here.
Really proficient from around the green as well. Yuvraj Sandhu now. Opening that club face. And hasn't he done well? Hasn't he done well? That's getting better every second. What a absolute beauty by Yuvraj. That looked that was threatening the hole the entire way. So he would end the day at 14 under par. Now the lead is for Shubham to take. He has a 10-footer for his birdie.
What a fine shot hit here by Yuvraj Sandhu using a lofted club, letting the ball drop like a butterfly and then take a little bit of a release with that slope on the green and leaving it just a tiny bit short of the hole, enough to just tap it in with the same wedge. But please don't try this at home.
You really need to practice how to use the bounce of the club. I think that was a perfect display of that. Getting under the ball, giving it a subtle spin and a predictable path. Now Kushal Singh.
Kushal from a long range away to this 18th hole flag location. He's got about 30 feet or so for a birdie. Kushal using one of those center shafted putters, something we don't see very often these days out on the tour, unless of course they were one of the lie angle balance type of putters. But, Kushal, of course, not.
Yeah, it's a rare sight to see these putters now. I think one of the first times we would have seen them would have been the Seymour putters, the center shafted ones. Shubham would have gotten a good read off of Kushal's putt. Also using a mallet-style putter.
You see the wear off there on Shubham's putter really shows the amount of work that goes into putting, the amount of practice that one does. Jaglan now for a birdie here.
Every player has his own unique pre-shot routine. And so does Shubham. Lines up, then removes the marker, then comes back for maybe just about a couple of putting strokes.
Maybe just trying to confirm his the way he's put the line on the ball by standing right on top of it. And that one really did not have enough steam to go in. So Jaglan would finish up his penultimate rounds battle with 14 under par on that leaderboard, with Jaglan and Sandhu leading the way, and Veer Alawat, Kalin Joshi, and N. Thangaraja sticking around at 9 under par. So that is what the action will be beginning with tomorrow.
Yeah, he's really played well, has Shubham. Very even-keeled, mature display of golf, bogey-free, 6 under par, smooth. And that takes him atop the leaderboard alongside Yuvraj Sandhu, who's no stranger to victories, mind you. So it's going to be difficult for Shubham tomorrow, but I'm certain that he's up to the challenge. As you have a look at Kushal, I'm not going to be calling this part, Rahul. It's all yours.
Well, good you didn't.
The similar line to Gaurav Pratap's, but he's done better. He's hold it. So kudos to Kushal. So he would remain at 7 under par, 7 behind the leader, in with a shot on the final day. Maybe he can shoot the round of his life and win this tournament. So, ladies and gentlemen, that would be it for the live broadcast. But we'll bring to you some of the highlights of the day. So please do stay with us. And just a little bit of a run through. Shubham Jaglan leads the Tata Open 2025 alongside Yuvraj Sandhu and Veer Alawat in the third position, tied with Kalin Joshi and Thangaraja for sixth. You have Mohammad Azhar, Manoj S, Amardeep Malik, Manu Gandas, Gaurav Pratap, and Kushal Singh. Gaurav Pratap and Kushal Singh tied in ninth position alongside Manu Gandas. That rounds up the top 10. The best rounds of the day have been 600, and we've also seen a hole-in-one by Manoj S.
6 under par today was shot by Kshitij Naved Kaul as well as Shubham Jaglan, and incidentally, both of them actually got off to a hot start at Golmuri on that front nine, and they both covered that in 5 under par. And that really is the kind of start that Veer, Kalin and N. Thangaraja would be looking for going into that final round in case they want to have any shot at Jaglan and Sandhu. There we have that leaderboard on the screens, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant showing of golf here at the final event of the 2025 season, the Tata Open 2025. Ajitesh Sandhu putting that one up on the 11th hole. And there we've got Mohammad Azhar. No trouble there, making a birdie. Shaurya Bhattacharya coming up from the right side of the green here. And leaves that in the jaws of the hole.
That was Ajitesh Sandhu cleaning up for his par.
The stalwart Mukesh Kumar coming up from the left rough here on the 11th hole. And leaves it just short of the green.
What a sight, Mukesh Kumar at even this age, going so strong. He's just an inspiration to all the golfers and sportsmen in this country.
Kalin Joshi. That strong swing on that 10th hole tee shot.
Lots of horsepower in that swing.
And employs so much of spin, it kind of goes backwards towards the fringe then. Rahman.
Missing it short and left here on the first.
Mr. Banerjee.